All right, before we get started today, I want to give a shout out to Carla Cisco, one of our newest Patreon subscribers. I wasn't sure if I gave Carla a shout out yet, so if I already did, then I'm giving you another one. Thank you again for supporting the show. If you want to support the show, you can check out patreon.com/bigtruth. That's a way for you to financially help us keep the show going and growing. And there's 4 different levels that you can go on there and subscribe to. They all come with their own mutual exclusive benefits. But, you know, a lot of the things the Patreon subscribers are going to get are extra bonus episodes, behind the scenes footage, polls, like ways for you to participate. I'll wait for you to, I always kind of, whenever I know in advance who's going to be coming on, I kind of shoot it out there. So give you guys a chance to ask questions and whatnot. And shout out to all my Patreon subscribers. You guys just fucking rule. Also, just wherever you listen, please just like, subscribe, share the show, however you listen to it, wherever you listen to it. But yeah, if you leave a review, leave stars, whatever it is. I know all the different platforms have it differently, but leave a review. If you leave a 5-star review, I'll shout it out and read it on the air. And I'll start doing that. I can't go back in time and do it to all the previous ones, but going forward, I'll do that. And yeah, just share it, tell people about it, tell your friends, family, coworkers, whatever. But without further ado, I got the dudes from Eazy Company here in the studio live from the second lift here at Chopperhead Customs. So keep it locked. Here we go.
Sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have a liftoff.
Yes, once again, we have liftoff. I want to thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Big Truth Podcast. And I'm here with my fucking homies from the Eazy Co. And we've already done a 3-hour podcast before we hit record.
No joke.
Actually, we're here with Clint from Hard Times. There you go. That's what you wanted, right?
That's exactly what I wanted.
From the Hard Times show. I don't even know what to say now. Like, literally, we already did the podcast.
I know. We should have just been recording all that, but hey, I'm sure we'll figure it out.
There was a lot that couldn't be on tape.
Yeah. We'll go back over a couple things.
All right, so you guys, Eazy Co hails from Worcester, Massachusetts, even though you both don't live in
We're
Worcester.
not from Worcester.
Transplants.
Straight up transplants. I don't live there.
It's so awesome that you guys transplanted to Worcester.
Trust me, Worcester was not the place we thought we'd be.
I know, but it's worked out, right?
It's worked. So far, it's working out.
It's working out, right?
Yeah.
You guys
so
got
far.
a good spot, and shout out to Jay and
Joe.
And Joe, yeah. Remember when we recorded for Chopperhead TV?
Yeah.
And we interviewed all you guys
In the coffee shop.
In the coffee shop, and it was just opening. And now it's still fucking rolling, dude. That's like how many years ago?
Shit.
I don't even remember.
That was New Tradition. I think that was New Tradition
1 or 2. Yeah.
I think it was 2.
2.
And fuck, now that's got to be.
Is that coming back?
No, the space is
all filled up.
It's all filled up.
It's all rented.
It's all rented. It's all
like
filled up.
it's all producing, and it's not,
It's not just sitting there waiting for us to do a show.
Yeah. I forgot because it's been that long. Now I feel like such a dick. I'm like, it's been that long since I've been over there.
Like, I think it's been like 5 years almost.
I'm going to be the guy that just shows up on Wednesday and hangs out now.
Please.
No, you don't want that. You don't want that.
We want you to come and hang. There's a couple people on the list that can't. They turn Wednesday into Thursday and then Thursday into Friday.
Friday into Sunday. And then Monday you're like, fuck.
Yeah, and then Monday I got cirrhosis of the liver, and Craig's like, dude, we haven't gotten shit done.
Yeah. See, at least you guys have good time bandits. Like, my time bandits are like guys that want to come and talk about all their dreams of what they want to do. And then it's like, all right, you ready? And they're like,
call them time bandits?
Yeah.
I'm going to use that.
That is the fucking best name ever.
Yeah. Like someone will come in and talk to you for an hour, and you're like looking in the, like picking out parts, and like I'm looking on the computer to make sure they're in stock, and I'm like, all right, well, you want to do this? And they're like, well, no, I'm thinking about doing that like next year. And I'm like, motherfucker.
No,
dude.
we slide that door. All we get, the only time bandits we get are like these fucking.
Your friends that want to drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Those are awesome time bandits.
No, those are great time bandits, but we get like real deal crackheads that are like, yo, man, you guys sell Vespas? You guys sell mini bikes? We're like, no.
I get those on the phone. I don't really get them in
Okay.
person. No, there's been a couple.
that have walked in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we had these ones that came in and they brought in a rolling chassis that they stole like from a fucking storage unit down the road, and
Was
I
it
didn't
cool?
know it. And it was cool as fuck. I bought it and I flipped it.
No shit.
And then the dude that owned it called and was like, yo, that's mine. And I was like, oh shit. I was like, here's your money that I sold it for. Here's the dude I sold it to. He's like, oh, I know that dude. We went to school together. And there was a whole fucking story behind it.
No
Like, that's
shit.
probably better told. Like, I don't know what to say in it.
When we turn the mics off
minutes,
here.
3 minutes into this, I get.
we got to turn the mics off.
There's so much better conversations when the mics
Yeah.
are off. But that's what happens in these worlds, right?
That's it.
So why don't you guys give kind of a little bit of, before we'll talk about the show and all that stuff, but give a little history of like Eazy Co and stuff, and like introduce yourselves and you know.
My name's John Repetto.
I
yeah.
am Craig Kenyon.
I
own-
should have said Craig and John, but
That's okay.
I'm a
We
fucking
own
retard.
the Eazy Co.
Yeah.
In Worcester, Massachusetts, even though we're not from there.
Yeah, even though you don't live there.
Even though we don't live there, none of that shit.
Yeah.
We grew up in Mansfield, not
Yeah.
too far from here.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
that far.
Trade school, the whole nine. But yeah, Eazy Co.
Gillette
full-
Stadium.
Straight up. Oh, Great Woods.
Yeah, Great Woods.
Yeah, Great Woods.
Good
Gillette
times.
Stadium.
Yeah,
All that shit. Going and swinging off of a rope swing into a pond, and then going and
Get a little closer,
and then
yeah.
going and sneaking into Great Woods.
There you
that
go.
was our childhood.
What's the best show you saw at Great Woods for free?
I never did it.
No,
No.
I think Ozfest maybe,
Okay.
or no. I did see a killer Jimmy Buffett concert one time.
All right.
I was smoking weed back then.
Did you hang out in the parking lot?
Oh yeah,
I heard it's pretty fucking.
the parking lot back in the day used to get fucking real lit.
Yeah, I heard
crazy.
that. Like,
My
Yeah.
parents would go.
yeah.
One time I went. Okay, well, legit. The one time, so there's a pond that's out.
It took 4 minutes to get Doc Secrets.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
there's a pond that you can go to that used to have a rope swing back in the day called Sweats Pond. It's right next to Great Woods, and you had to walk like kind of on 495 to get to it. So go there, swim, whatever, and then I went there. We hung, partied there, and then went to the concert. Was Jimmy Buffett that day? Just.
Yeah. Happened to be.
It just happened to be. I walk out, and who do I see is Craig's fucking parents. I walk right out.
Getting
out of the
wild?
woods, getting fucking wild, dude. Hawaiian shirts. They had like a little kids pool and then sand. They brought sand and put it all out in their area, and they were fucking shattered. And I'm like, what are you guys doing? I was, obviously
Yeah.
in my own world, and they were like, it's Jimmy Buffett. I'm like, all right, I guess I'm gonna go to this concert. Went. Waited till everybody went in, ransacked some cars and some coolers, and then went inside and did my thing at Jimmy
Were there,
Buffett.
there were still tickets?
No, we just snuck. We always
You
sneak in.
snuck in, yeah.
Never bought tickets ever.
Is there still a secret way in?
I don't know about now, but there used to be like a fail safe. Like there was always a hole in the fence in the back. You just go through the woods.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they'd get privy to it, and like there'd be guys like waiting in the bushes, like, and then they clear cut the whole hill because there was this big hill that led up to the top, and there was like crazy trees and bushes. Like could hide all day. They clear cut that whole motherfucker except for like 10 bushes, so you'd have to like run and hide.
You have to wear like a ghillie suit to get in.
Yeah. Oh, and we would go full bore. Like if we made it in, cool, whatever. But if we didn't, like it's a fun story.
Yeah.
So like me and my cousins, because I lived down the street, so like I could walk there.
Yeah. You
And
just walk home.
walk
whatever.
home, whatever. So we would walk, do our thing, and then climb that fucking hill. And I remember running like tree to tree, and then all of a sudden the parking lot's like, run, because security's coming, like in the golf carts.
Yeah.
We were just like, fuck, we gotta go. Somebody jumps over the fence, smashes a security guard so they don't catch us, and keep on going.
That's literally, I have the same story, but it was for like the last smoke out that we went to before we got banned from the smoke outs.
Really?
Yeah. It's probably a better one to say off mic, but
Okay.
we'll save it for that. Yeah.
Okay.
Remind me of the smoke out story and the
Can we say why you got banned or no? Just
because
getting crazy.
this is when so we were put on hiatus from the smoke out for a lot of years,
Really?
and then we were allowed back a few years ago, and then we did some stuff that upset them. But now they don't run it anymore, and now Cycle Source took it over.
Oh, okay.
So shout out to Cycle Source. I haven't been, you know what I mean? And I just got asked if we were going to go again, and but that's a whole other story. But
We should make a pill. Let's go.
we'll
go with you.
There was a year where we stole the horses' golf carts. There was just a bunch of. We stole a gurney out of a ambulance, and we were taking the horses' golf cart. We were jumping it and jumping the gurney. There was just a bunch of shit going on. There was a lot of ramps and bullshit involved. But anyway,
That's par for the course up here,
yeah,
but maybe down there is not so much.
This podcast is about you guys. So we're gonna get into that. There was other things involved that, like, we'll talk about off later on. We should have talked about it in the 3 hours we were hanging
That's
out
okay.
before we
polished off a 12-pack, so I'm sure some stories that shouldn't come out are gonna.
The only ones that are left are
I'll drink those.
potentially our mango, or whatever it is, peach.
Yeah. What do I got right here? Oh, I got a lemon ice.
Yeah.
I should have swapped it. Craig, you got your liquid death?
Liquid death.
Craig's the sober one. He's got to drive me home.
It's perfect, dude.
Get after it.
I needed it.
Fucking. I need more sober friends.
Yeah, he's my canary in a coal mine, dude. He started drinking, I'd be fucked.
She just stopped drinking. Just to
I feel like drinking's
upset the balance.
not the one I'm interested in.
What's the one you're interested in?
I don't know, like more like weed or mushrooms.
Maybe. That's kind of how it all starts.
You want to do mushrooms right now and make this a weird podcast?
Is that something that we're going to do?
Can we make Craig do mushrooms?
No, he's got to drive home. We can.
Let's save it for the next one.
All right.
I've already done mushrooms on a podcast. It doesn't work out that good.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But it's more funny if we got Craig to do it for his first time.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like he needs to be on like a fucking hillside somewhere for his first time.
Yeah.
Not
do it somewhere cool. Don't do it in this shop, fucking hot and humid, and on a podcast. You got to do it in nature or at your house,
Yeah.
and then do 5 grams.
Oof. Oof. I don't know. You're a big guy. You could probably handle it.
Heroes. You got
The
to do a hero dose.
straight heroes dose.
But yeah, so but I don't even know where the fuck we're going now.
So Eazy Company started in Craig's
Yeah.
parents' shed.
Yeah, that's where we were trying to get
Yeah.
the history of Eazy Company.
It started in Craig's parents' shed.
We should explain for people, because this goes worldwide, and I don't know if you know, but we're number 3 in like India.
Hell yeah.
No, wait. what is it?
Assalamu alaikum, baby.
So,
That's not.
Is that not it? Okay.
not-
All right.
no, wait, sorry. Our listenership is number 1 is United States, number 2 is Canada, I think number 3 is Australia, and number 4 is India.
Really?
So India might not know Eazy Company, and I'm not slighting Eazy Company. I'm just saying.
No,
might not
of
know.
course.
So it's a motorcycle chopper company.
We build custom choppers, vintage Harleys. We specialize in that.
And I'm not on my game because we've already been talking.
that's okay.
And I'm making assumptions that everybody knows and that's
No.
along the ride with us,
No. Well, so yeah, we're a vintage. We specialize in vintage Harley Davidsons, custom choppers. You know, we build bikes for customers. We build bikes and sell them, buy parts, the whole 9, flip that, do the whole thing, have a decent collection of stuff. And we're based out of Worcester, Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Did I miss anything?
No, it sounded great.
How'd it come together?
So we've known each other since the 8th grade.
Yep.
And a few lifetimes now, it feels like.
Kind of.
We've known each other. So between middle school, high school, going through like figuring out what the fuck we're even gonna do, touring with bands, and then we just fucking fell into motorcycles. Like I grew up like with my family. My grandfather rode bikes. My uncles rode bikes. Like that whole thing was always around me, always. And you, not really.
Not at all. My grandfather was into like Honda dirt bikes.
Yeah.
Back when he was younger, though, like actually trail riding and stuff like that. I think he said he had an Indian, but I never saw any pictures of that or anything like that. So I'm like totally out of the blue.
Yeah, and I grew up like my uncles used to go to the Easy Rider rodeos down in Stafford Springs, and you know he rebuilt his iron head in my grandparents' basement when I lived there when I was a little kid. Like one of the first memories is like me like cleaning grease off of his off the rocker boxes.
Yeah.
And you know like just hanging out while he's trying to put this motor together.
Yeah. Being a nuisance while he's
Being a nuisance, being a pain in the
trying to
ass.
get shit- Yeah.
Being a pain in the ass. My grandfather had an Indian, a panhead. He actually traded his panhead back. I mean, this has got to be in, obviously it's, not, 49, 50. He took my grandmother on their first date was Laconia in 52.
Oh, that's rad.
Yeah, she still has this ticket stub, still has pictures back when it was just a race. And he ended up trading one of his bikes back in the day for a horse and showed up to my great-grandfather's house on the horse, on horseback with no saddle, at 1 o'clock in the morning. And they were just like, what the fuck are you doing on this? You got to get your bike back. They weren't psyched on the bike, but they were not psyched on him showing up on a fucking horse.
Yeah.
And they were like, nah.
No, there's a lot of responsibility, I would assume, with having a horse, a lot of space that you need, a lot of food, and
and
care.
Yeah.
Cleaning.
And from the stories I've heard about my grandfather when he was a kid is that he's not dealing with a horse responsibility.
Sure. Yeah.
He's just
it's like any of us having a horse.
Yeah.
I've been debating on getting a goat.
Dude, do it
for the back
to cut the grass and shit.
Yeah.
Why not? They seem pretty manageable.
Then I found out you have to have 2 goats.
Oh, because they get sad?
Yeah. And I was like, that seems like a lot.
Even 2 goats seem kind of manageable.
2 goats or 1 raccoon?
Do you want to get a raccoon?
2 goats or 1 raccoon?
Sure.
That's choices.
Oh, okay.
That's the master combination right there.
No, not all 3. I can't.
Oh, one or the other.
One or the other.
I'd go goats, dude.
I'd go raccoon.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. They're
I feel
smart.
like you could put a raccoon in a bag and walk around with it or something.
They seem fucking fun as fuck.
I know. I feel like they could outsmart me.
But they're also going to do a lot of bullshit.
Yeah, they're going to fuck with
funny.
your stuff.
Yeah, I know.
They could scratch you. That's what I'm worried about.
Nah, they don't fuck with you. You gotta go down to Tennessee and get the ones that are 30 generations domesticated. I've been looking into this.
Really?
Yeah.
They got domesticated raccoons down in Tennessee?
Yeah.
You ever seen a raccoon eat grapes?
Yes.
It's the most adorable thing on the planet.
It is.
Yeah.
They walk on hind legs and stuff. It's
now,
great.
if we had a raccoon sitting at this podcast, we're actually we're on the second lift at Chopperhead, not the third lift. We're usually at that one. If you were sitting at the table, and you'd just be fucking eating.
All right.
Hands.
Well, now you're swaying me raccoon.
What it was I saw a video of a raccoon. Someone had a raccoon and it was sitting on their couch and it had a bunch of chips on its belly and it was just sitting and watching TV eating chips. And I was like, fuck yeah, dude. What's up? Let's hang out.
So our old shop teacher, because we went to trade school in Easton, in the fucking...
So you went to a Voc-Tech?
Voc-Tech, yeah.
All right,
Voc-Tech.
we're all Voc-Tech. I went to Greater New Bedford Regional Vocational Technical High School.
Very similar.
It's Southeastern Regional Vocational Technical Institute.
All right.
That's it.
That's what happens. You go to Voc and then you build bikes.
And then you build bikes. Productive member of society.
And then if you live out fucking in Wisconsin or wherever, you can go to Kevin Bass's class and fucking learn how to build bikes at Voc.
Shout out to Teach.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Yeah. That dude fucking rules.
I think he did some of the metal signs that we have here. He did some of those years and years ago.
I haven't got to meet him, but I mean, I've heard about him and seen. I mean, he was at Mama Tried this past year when we were there, but didn't get a chance to say what's up to him because he's been a guy that we've known about since we started getting into this shit.
He's an awesome dude. Mama Tried's too crazy. There's too much going on. I love it.
It's so crazy. I almost fucking died.
Shout out to Scott Warren. They're good dudes. But it's like you.
It's an amazing show.
It's hard to do everything, see everything.
Oh, it's too, especially now. I mean, dude, in Eagles Ballroom, that room is insane. So me and Packer started drinking at noon and we were drinking till 5 a.m. Yeah.
And we're getting into fights at some other hotel.
Yeah.
And then the next morning we showed up on the last day of Mama Tried. And you ever been so drunk that you have you have the shakes and stuff? I was trying to unload the booth, and then how you have to walk your truck is parked 2 miles away, and I'm walking down all those flights of stairs holding all the Chopperhead merch, and my legs are wobbly and shaking, and I can't I was I thought I was literally gonna fall down the stairs trying to I've never been so hungover in my fucking life. Milwaukee is always a good time. It's hard to have a bad time.
Milwaukee's an unbelievable city, and it gets me every fucking time.
Yeah, me too.
Friday night, the pre-party, we went to Bad Moon. Well, we were at Fuel. We were, because everybody came in town. Greg was with us. Jason was with, a bunch of our friends were with us when we were out there. So it was a full-blown party Friday, during the day.
Yeah.
We got there Thursday night, whatever, for the pre-party. I mean, they have a whole week
Pre-parties are like the worst idea.
It's a nightmare.
Ever, because you get so fucked up. Because everyone does the same thing. All right, take it easy. We'll just get into it.
Never.
And then you see everybody, and then it starts rolling, and then fucking the next day you're like, why the fuck did I do that?
Yeah. So that was kind of the plan. It was like we rolled in Thursday night in the middle of a snowstorm, went to the pre-party because you find out that these fools have a full week of pre-parties.
Yeah.
Like from Monday on. And we get the fuel. It's game on. We're like, all right, well, we've been driving.
Mama tried, you mean?
Mama tried, yeah. We've been driving now for however many hours. We got to chill. So we went back to the hotel, slept, and then we're out Friday, but it's game on Friday morning, like starting right from the beginning, like let's go. So I make it all the way to the pre-party at like 9 o'clock at night, and I'm like passing out on the couch, like in the bar. And then a buddy of ours slips me some Adderall, and I don't even have a recollection.
Reset, yeah.
Yeah, full reset, full retard, the whole nine. So that whole night happened, and then Saturday, I thought I was having a fucking heart attack. I was like, this is not good. I can't even speak. My voice is like non-existent.
Yeah.
From screaming. You know, our buddy Charlie was with us, and he was like, dude, we're at the bar, and I get a text from you going, where are you? He goes, I'm 10 feet from you.
Yeah.
And then I walk up to you, and you're just in a circle of guys with your shirt off, screaming, I'm country.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know. Shit happens. Milwaukee, you know?
It's a whole city whose economy is based on beer and motorcycles.
Yeah. When you get a Bloody Mary in the morning and they give you a little chaser of beer, you know you're in for it.
Yeah.
You know you're in for it.
It's always a good time. If you've never visited Milwaukee, you should always go to Milwaukee.
100%. Mama tried his killer.
Don't go at the Harley 120th.
No.
Go another time. Go during Mama tried or something.
Yeah, definitely go for during Mama tried.
Obviously, Harley is not a sponsor of this podcast. But
sorry, Willie G.
I went to the Harley 100th, though. I had a time of my life.
Oh, I bet.
There was like one of the Chophead DVDs was filmed there.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know which year, but whatever year the 100th was.
Yeah.
Oh, that must have been 2003.
Yeah.
Duh.
Checks out.
Matt.
Checks out. The math checks out. Hey, let me
Craig,
get my phone.
does that check out?
I think that checks out.
Yeah. Let me get my phone here, yeah.
Check it.
All I remember was I was so hammered, and then not Fu Manchu, but they had a side band. The drummer had another band. Nebula played at some small club, and I was so fucking hammered. I just remember a couple of my friends, a couple of the LA Sinner guys put me in a cab and sent me back to my buddy's house, and I was puking all over the cab, but I thought I was being slick and puking out the window, but the whole cab was just covered in felt like such a heel. This is pre-Lyft or Uber.
So it's just a yellow cab.
Just a yellow cab.
They deserve that.
And he was like a foreign dude, and they were like, yo, get this guy to this house or we're going to fucking kill you type of thing. You know what I mean? And like they paid him some good money or whatever. And I didn't know who the fuck I was, man.
I believe
it was a good time.
Milwaukee will get you if you're not careful, dude.
Yeah.
It will get you.
It's fucking loose and fun.
It is.
It's fucking wild.
It is. It's good.
All the time.
It's good. I don't know why we brought it up. I forget what we were talking about in the beginning.
I don't know. You guys were talking about the origins of Eazy Co.
I don't know why Milwaukee came up in that.
I have no idea.
You think I would remember that, but I have no idea.
You have no idea.
The sober guy doesn't remember.
Damn it.
You're the worst sober guy ever.
You're welcome.
Let's dose him with some mushrooms to see how this fucking thing really goes.
Yeah, dude.
We're gonna need the other 12-pack.
I just feel like we've already had like the best podcast.
I know. I didn't want that whole.
No, there was all kinds of shit that we couldn't. Yeah, there's all kinds of shit we couldn't talk about on TV.
It's okay.
It's all right.
But yeah, so I guess back to the origins.
So you guys met in middle school. You've been friends. You guys were involved in like the whole punk and hardcore stuff.
Yeah, doing that whole thing
on tour.
We did the tour thing. We toured the band called 4 Year Strong, pop punk band, everyone's favorite punk, and we did that whole thing. And
so I retract the punk and hardcore thing. So you guys were involved in the pop punk scene.
Okay.
You guys were involved in the pop punk scene.
just touring with them. We were just
touring with them in what capacity?
We were their guitar techs.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, we were their guitar techs. And in the midst of all that, like I think you were like, we were looking at like blogs. Like it was like the blog days, you know?
Yeah.
You showed me like probably Max Shafts or something like that whole, like how everybody that has ever skateboarded in their life got into it, you know?
Yeah, sure.
And just blogs in general. I mean, you guys, Max's blog, fucking Kirpius's blog, the all that shit.
Jeff Wright had a good blog.
Jeff Wright, yeah. I mean, dude, I remember having.
But there was the whole fuck choppers and punk rock blog, but that was a little underground.
So,
and it was like super weird and exclusive. Like you had to like get in somehow.
You had to be accepted in.
I don't even remember how. And then once you got in, it was just all ball busting all the time.
Yeah,
it was good times.
So we got in like because it was like forums first, right? It was like the forum thing was like early.
Yeah.
And then
before forums, there was mail lists.
I never heard
so
this.
So you subscribe to a mail list, right? And like if like you like imagine making a blog post or like a blog
like
post.
A zine almost.
Well, no. So there wasn't like a central place yet. So it was a mail list.
Okay.
So
like
like
email?
Yeah. So you'd be on like the Triumph Choppers email list. And that's how I met like Tyler from Lowbrow. We were friends from that. And you'd post up like, hey, does anyone have this? Or do you know how to do this or something? And then it'd go out to this whole list of people, and then someone would reply. But
shit.
Everyone read everything.
That's interesting.
And then blogs came after that, and then, websites.
Right.
And then social media.
Watching the progression of it from like, because
it just goes from horrible to worse.
I know. It's just shorter and shorter attention spans. Like it was when the blog thing happened, like we knew about the form stuff because we did we joined Jockey Journal, we joined the Chocolate Forums and all that stuff. Yeah. Then and I
wonder if I could find my old Jockey Journal login.
I got kicked off.
He banned, bitch.
Banned forever?
I got
What'd
banned
you do?
forever. I called Craig a fag.
It was great. He's fun to watch.
It was in the same room. We were in the same room.
Yeah, it's so funny how like weird people got like,
Yeah, he posted. It was honestly kind of a dick move. He posted his bike, like it was like when you bought that.
You're like, fuck you, fag.
Yeah, I just wrote fag.
And no one understands East Coast ball busting. Like,
I know.
It's like your best friend, and you just but everyone's like, eh.
Yeah, I know.
You can't say that. That's anti whatever.
I remember exactly. We were in Vegas at the house. We were in California, in Los Angeles at the House of Blues, in the green room, waiting to load the stage with all the equipment. And I have the laptop open, and you had just posted it, and I was sitting right next to you. And I was like, looked over and I just wrote it and sent it. And within 3 seconds, I was banned forever from Jockey Journal. And then I told Jay Roach that story, and he was like, oh, my boy ran the whole thing. And I was like, your fucking boy banned me from Jockey Journal for life.
Your boy's an F-bomb.
Yeah, your boy's a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
And he was like, eh. And I was like, I guess it makes sense.
There's a lot of people who got too much.
Someone had to regulate it.
Yeah.
Or we'd be running wild saying all sorts of crazy shit.
Yeah.
Especially us. I mean, I was 23.
Yeah. But that's fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who cares?
We were having a good time. But that,
But there is a fine line between ball busted and, shitting on someone's
dick.
parade. Yeah.
Exactly. It was more like, I guess no one was in it. It was just me and him that were in the joke. It was just like, it was just a joke between me and him. And I guess.
Why is this guy calling him a fag?
Yeah. The rest of the internet just didn't understand.
Yeah.
I wanted to be like, no, he's like my best friend. I've known him for my whole life.
So in comparison, there was no rules on the fuck choppers and punk rock board.
Yeah, that's what's up.
But you had, it was a cultivated thing. It wasn't like open to the general public.
Yeah.
It wasn't mine. It was this dude Nelson in California. It was a good time, man.
Oh, okay.
But it was all people that were all like old punk and hardcore kids that were in the choppers, it was weird how there was like this weird surgence of that all at the same time. You know what I mean? And it was like, but I always say to people, it was the next step.
100%. It makes, looking at it now, it makes complete sense. Like even dudes now that are like just getting into it, that are coming from punk and hardcore now, where it's like, it makes total sense.
Loud, fast, dangerous, do it yourself.
Yeah, DIY, fucking, you're skateboarding, you're doing whatever, like, you're partying, like, this is all a good time. It's all about trying to have, like, the best fucking time you possibly can, because who the fuck knows when it's gonna all end. So it's like, you just latch on to this thing. Like, it's the same, it's like, I mean, we grew up skateboarding our whole fucking lives, and then punk rock and hardcore came in, and it was like it went. Obviously, all the skate videos had fucking punk rock in it.
Yeah.
So it was like, yeah, it makes sense. This is why wouldn't we go to this show?
Sure.
We've been hearing the same band for a couple of years now. In this one skate video I've been watching over and over again. I'll go to the show and check them out.
That's why I made the Chophead DVDs.
Right.
Like if you look at them, they were a skate video, but with motorcycles.
Exactly.
It's like individual profiles, show profiles.
Yeah.
And then just like punk rock background.
Yeah.
And then jackass dumb shit. You know what I mean? Like
it's honestly lacking now a bit, I feel like, in that aspect where it's like guys just doing shit just to do it, like having fun and being like, well, I don't care what people think.
There's a lot of people worrying about shit nowadays.
And we got like that for when we first started the shop. Like I didn't want to put any of the fabrication stuff that we were doing out. Like I was, because we came from the blog era of like guys really curating their stuff and like really fucking, I mean, the only, it was all guys that were established people that like we looked up to.
What no one, you do, like I do, whatever. Dudes that do shit, no. There's no one way to do things.
Right.
And you got to work, like, the problem is when you get on these message boards or whatever, right? Like, people are like, no, you can't do it like that. This is the only way to do it.
Yeah.
And here's the tensile strength of this and that and blah, blah, blah. Fucking blah, blah, blah. Like, bro, I welded this with a MIG welder fucking 20 fucking years ago and it's still fucking riding. Like,
yeah.
Do I use a TIG welder now? Yes, absolutely. But when we first started, I only had a MIG welder. You know what I mean? And people would, yeah, I get it. It's like weird. It's like, it's vulnerable to put your shit out, your fabrication shit out.
Oh,
especially, you know what I mean? Mechanical shit, like, all right, there's one way to do things, and here's the tolerances, here's the fucking torque specs, here's this and that. But like making shit, Yeah,
and it was
fucking weird, right?
It is. It was strange, and like I never put myself out like that on the internet or anything like that. And it was like it's not like we had a blog or anything like that we were putting stuff out. So it was like when we first started doing all this, it was like, well, I don't know, like, does my shit make sense? Does it? I don't know. Like, does any of it make sense? I guess we're just gonna try it and fucking put it out there. But I had to be like, yo, you gotta take care of this. Like, I can't do this. Like, you gotta like hit the fucking okay button because I'm like fucking losing my mind.
And I'm like, sure.
Yeah, he couldn't give a fuck.
Yeah, why not?
Fuck it, man. You guys doing a solid shit. Like, I know the YouTube presence fucking huge, right? That helps you guys a lot.
Nowadays, yeah. I mean, shit that's only been happening now for, we got 3 years now?
2.5?
2.5, something like that. Yeah, that was out of boredom.
Yeah, but it's smart. Like,
we got sick of Instagram. We were like scared to post on Instagram, and then we got sick of Instagram like a couple of years later.
Yeah.
You go through that whole bullshit. But
when you're posting as a business, it's like,
well, it's crazy, right? Like, there's a whole, like, there's people whose whole, like, job is social media.
Their whole life.
Knowing when to post. And not only when to post, what to post. Like, no, you can't do stories anymore. You got to post reels to get to get viewers. Or you can't post a fucking post anymore. It's got to be fucking this, and you got to do it at this time.
And they dissect the algorithm and shit. And it's like,
but it's real, dude. And it's fucking weird, man. And then I never understood this. I get it. I guess that's a big contradiction right there, right? I never really understood this, but there's dudes that come into this shit and all they do is repost other people's shit. Yeah. And then they just get fucking huge. And then they can turn that into a fucking business.
Can they though?
I think so.
It's tough to. I know exactly I know exactly what you're talking about.
You can monetize that shit. Like,
yeah, I don't know. It's like
fucking weird, right? Like, and it doesn't matter to me. Like, I don't like. It's cool. Like, whatever your hustle is, fuck yeah, dude. You're getting over. You're doing shit. Fucking good. It's just it's weird to me. People that come in now, if they're sincere about it and they really love it and they're just doing it because they love it, fucking cool. But there's people that come in and all they do is sell other people's shit. Right. And they're like a little distributor. Well, and then they just they're like fucking thriving. And it's like dudes that are actually doing shit are fucking all struggling. That's always weird to me. Like, but again, cool. I ain't knocking your hustle. You got a better hustle than me, right? Like, it's fucking cool. Yeah. Like, cool. Good for you. But it's just always weird to me. Like, but that just shows you there's a lot of, It's sad now, but I think with social media, it brings more surface level people into shit than that would have been in if it was like something you had to seek out or really fucking seek out.
Yeah, to work for. It's very unregulated now. Like it's very Wild West. Like anybody can start something and it could blow up on Instagram and then all of a sudden they're the guy, you know, and they're not doing shit.
Yeah.
And when we first started getting into it, the big thing was like, you can't print a t-shirt unless you're building shit. Like you can't produce anything else besides motorcycles unless you're fucking building motorcycles.
Yes.
And that's
kind of what I'm saying, but you're saying it a little more articulate.
Yeah, that was like a huge, and that was something that was ingrained in us real early because right when we got on all the blogs and started figuring out like what the fuck this whole world was, that was something that was like said on every single one where it was like, you can't do shit besides build bikes. And after that, if everybody likes your stuff and you're fucking into it and you're really doing it for the real reasons, then you can branch out and do a couple other things.
Yeah.
And that's cool. And I loved that. Like we loved that shit. Like
it's kind of how the business started. I was like, I don't want to be a t-shirt shop.
We talked about that. Like we were
a
like,
lifestyle company.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's the biggest thorn in my fucking side.
Yeah, it was like we don't
like
want
what lifestyle, bro? Like you in this lifestyle? Like you did something?
Yeah,
you did something to earn your place. And I know it's not like that anymore. But I'm so old school in my thinking that it's like this is all arcane shit. Like this is cool shit. Like, but it's like you have to seek this knowledge out, and I forget that it's out. Everything's out there for the whole fucking world. Like, and especially, and I love YouTube. Like, but I also hate it. You know what I mean? It's like because it's like, oh, you want to know how to do this? Like, you used to have to know like some old gray beard that showed you how to fucking do it. And then you appreciated that a little bit more. But now you get this fucking dickwad that's like, oh, well, blah, blah, blah. Here you go. And it's like, nah, dude, like you just gave out like fucking trade secrets, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like you used to have to work for. And that's in everything, like tattooing, you know, like, you know, we used to have to do an apprenticeship to learn how to tattoo. But your tattooing apprenticeship wasn't just teaching you how to tattoo. It was teaching you the culture of things and how things worked. You know what I mean? And in this thing, like years ago, like if you wanted to learn how to build a bike, you had to figure it out. And then you had to go to swap meets and you had to go to shows and you met some old graybeard dude that was like, oh, this is how you do this. And like, oh, come by. Like, I'll show you how to do that.
Right.
Like, or whatever.
You had to deal with their bullshit. They were
and you had to deal with that bullshit.
They're mean motherfuckers.
But it was like you were getting weird arcane knowledge that wasn't just out there.
100%.
And it was cooler. Oh, my only point is it's cool that everything's available now. But it was cooler when you had to seek it out and you had to earn it. You appreciated things more.
Of course.
I feel like than it is now. Like,
and nowadays, like, yeah, you can find all that information online, and you can try to build your own business that way, and do all that shit. But you're gonna be found out. Like I feel like
I don't think that matters anymore. I think
really?
I feel like there's a lot of surface motherfuckers, dude. Like, just my take on things is like you can be just fucking some fuck all, and you can get over. You know what I mean? And people buy into it.
Right. In my head, the quality of work.
But that doesn't mean that you get respect from the dudes. Like, you know what I mean?
That aspect,
I just said that with such toxic masculinity.
Fuck them.
Like,
Fuck them.
Like we're gonna cancel, but you know what I mean?
No, of course.
I don't mean just the dudes. Like people that really.
People that are really
live
in
and breathe
this.
that are really in it. Yeah. And there's a difference, you know, because there's a lot of tourists, you know what I mean, nowadays. And they come and go, and it's cool, whatever. Just be respectful during your time here.
Right. Of course, yeah. And I feel like, too, like, the quality of work always ends up, like, is the proving ground. Like, how well do you put your shit together? How well does it run? How well can you, like, does it ride? Can you fix it on the road? Like, all the guys that I've ever seen that are, like, in it for Instagram fame or this and that, like, that start out like that, like, oh, they see this world and they're like, I can start doing this and I might be able to get some followers on Instagram. They end up their shit breaking down and everybody fucking knows that they can't fix their shit on the road. Like that's what's the truest test of your merit. It's like, dude, you can get on a bike, you can ride it as far as you want, and if something happens, you can fix it and keep going.
Yeah.
You know, and then when that situation arises and you're with a group of guys that know their shit, and then all of a sudden you're like, hey, can you guys help me out? Like, what am I doing wrong here? What's this? What's that? Hey, do you have this tool? Do you have that? It's like, well, guess what? You just got found out. You might not have got found out on a fucking global scale, but you got found out that you can't fucking fix your shit on the side of the road.
Yeah.
And that's...
Is my push rod tight?
Right, exactly. Yeah. My kickstand fell off. What do I do? Keep on going, buddy.
Just don't stop.
Just never stop.
Just never stop.
Lean it up against a dumpster, get some gas, and call it a day. Keep on going.
Well, if you got a kickstart, you just put your kicker down.
Yeah.
Tip it over.
Tip it over. You know, it's like, that's the kind of shit where it's like, you get all these guys coming in. They don't last long.
Yeah.
Those guys don't last long.
It's always weird, right? Because at the end of the day, we get wrapped in it, but then who fucking cares? Like,
yeah, it don't matter.
Don't matter.
Yeah.
Nothing matters in the world, really. Right? Nothing matters. Let's do some mushrooms. Let's talk about this. Craig.
I feel peer pressured.
No, I'm just kidding.
But let's do it.
He's wanted to for a while.
I know.
He's wanted to for a while.
Well, I feel it's of the earth. It's not like I wouldn't suggest anyone just go do a fucking dose of LSD. Yeah, no. But everybody should do mushrooms at least once. Unless you have deep psychological issues, like schizophrenia or some weird shit. It could cause a psychological break.
Oh, 100%.
But if you're pretty grounded, you'd be fine.
It is lovely. It is lovely. I do enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is fun.
Even just like a CH more than a microdose.
Yeah.
Can be fun.
Oh.
I feel like I'm more interested in that
than anything.
Like a full blown trip.
So a CH more than microdose is this: you might feel a little giddy. Things are more colorful, like colors, more, like regular. Like right now, we're looking at a tube TV, and then it goes into ultra high def, like 4K.
Yeah, the first time he was there. The first time I ever did mushrooms.
Yeah,
he was there.
You guys have been homies since 8th grade.
Yeah, but I can't smoke weed anymore. And
especially around me.
Yeah, but when I would smoke weed around him, like it would be fucking amplified. Like I feel like he'd be fucking judging me or like whatever.
All the weird paranoias.
Yeah, I get so paranoid. It was my end. It was the end of me smoking weed. Really, like it was really like I needed. It was just the sign of me getting.
Craig's a buzzkill.
Yeah, Craig's a buzzkill, which it doesn't make any. It's not nothing against you. It's all
nothing
me.
against you, but it's you.
It's me.
Kind of you, dude. You know, you made a lot of fucking going to the movie theaters. Not that fun, but.
Fucking straight edge guy.
So
I was straight edge for so many years.
Really?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I was straight edge till I was 30.
Really?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
And I was like, all right. My problem was growing up. I was around a lot of people that fucked their lives up or died.
Yeah.
I was like, if I can make it till I'm 30, I'll be good. I'll be past the point where they're like totally fuck everything up.
Right.
Then it did. No, I'm just kidding. It did. No, you know.
You seem to be doing just fine.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah, you seem to be doing just fine.
But like, and so I'm at a point where it's cool. Like, you know, like I can do shit for fun and then not be dependent on it. Because you know what it is? I think it's like your brain chemistry, right? Your brain doesn't fully develop till you're 23, 24.
Yeah, I wish I didn't fuck with it so early. I started smoking weed when I was like 13.
Yeah.
So it was like I was just around a bunch of fuckheads. You know?
So it was like weird. So we did all that in middle school for a little bit.
Yeah.
And I was like, nah, I'm all right. It was weird. I knew enough to kind of get out.
Yeah, not me.
Yeah,
I was like, did it like right in 8th grade, and then was like, let's run this for like a while. Well into like my 20s, and I'm like, maybe I should just chill on this. This is not going well.
So you've been a designated driver for about 20 something years.
Oh, for my whole life.
Fuck,
Yep.
Dude, he was the reason.
He owes you a lot of money.
You better.
Oh, dude, he's the reason I graduated high school.
That's true.
He is the reason. He is the reason.
How did that work?
So I was a fuck up in high school, obviously. But
I wasn't great either.
No, you got by a bit. I was like a pretty big fuck up in high school, I guess. And and I was just like, senior year, I was like, fuck it. We're in trade school. Like, who the fuck fails trade school?
Yeah.
You know? Like, you got to really try to fail trade school.
What years?
So 2001 to 5?
Yeah.
2001 to 5, yeah. and Metal Fab in shop together. Both in Metal Fab.
Yeah.
Spent a lot of time together.
We've been in it together for
Totally
He's sick of
fucking
me.
around.
He can't wait till like this is all done and he can just fuck off into the sunset. You know, but
He'll still call me.
I sure will every day. So, senior year, I was like, I'm fucking over this. Like, I wouldn't go to English class. Like, when I was in shop, I was there every day. Like, I never missed a day of school. Like, I had unbelievable attendance in high school, like all throughout high school, because my mother was like, you're never staying home. Like, not a chance. You got to go to school. Like, I can't handle this. So
You got to go to school. You don't have to do school.
nothing.
You got to go to school. You
have
just got to be there.
You have to not be home.
Yeah.
You have to go to school.
You were present
Yeah.
physically.
Yes. And so I would skip English class every day. So finally, like towards the end of the year, my English teacher pulled me into the class with our shop teacher, Mr. Flowers, shout out Mr. Flowers, and was like, you're not, straight up told me, she's like, you're not graduating. She was a fucking bitch. Fuck her. She sucked. She used to wear like open toe shoes and have these crazy like claw toes.
Ugh.
It was, no bra, nipples beaming. It was cool, I guess, at that point, but now it sucks to think about. But she was like, you're not fucking graduating. And I was like, what do you mean? I was like, my mother already booked the hall in Rentham. Like, what are you talking about? I'm not graduating. I'm like, what the fuck? And she's like, no. Like, you skipped my class so many times, like, you're not graduating. And then my shop teacher was like, listen, I understand that you're mad. He needs to graduate because if he doesn't, you have him next year. You understand that, right? And she's like sighed and was like, he's like, you will have him next year. Like, you cannot, like, he has to go. Like, he can't be here. Like, whatever. And finally, she was like, okay, do a report on your life. And I was like, okay. Like, it due next week. So I stayed up all night. I didn't even have a computer. I had to use a friend's computer. Wrote it all out. He read it, and he was like, dude, this is, like, written by, like, a 3-year-old. Like, what the fuck is this? He ended up rewriting the whole thing. Stayed up all night.
It was probably all night.
It was all night, I think.
That was my first job editing you.
Straight up, it was his first job. Yeah, all night rewriting it with like a friend of ours because it was like so poorly. I called it the True Hollywood Story of John Repetto.
That it needed a team of writers.
It needed a team of writers to fix. Like, it was so bad. They made fun of me for so long about it, and passed it in. And then she was like, "Yeah, you're good. I'll take it." It was like.
I don't know why I remember this, but I remember you spelled jealous.
Oh my, yeah, that was like, dude.
GELUS.
Yeah, well, I'm a fucking idiot. I probably still can't spell jealous. Let's be real.
You got it.
All right. Let's put some money on the table.
Can I get my phone out? Hold on, don't make me do this.
You can't get your phone out. Can't get your phone out.
Please do this.
All right, what do you want? What do you want to do? Is this me and you? Because it's just me and you. What do you want to put on the table?
I can't do it, dude. I'm telling you right now.
Any word?
No, jealous.
Jealous. No, I for sure.
I'll put $20 on the table right now.
That I can't or can?
Yeah, you can't. Wait, should I be on your side now?
I've spelled it so many times in my head, dude. I'm trying to. All right, hold on. We drank a whole 12-pack.
I'm on the can't, but like you should be pulling for him because you've corrected.
All right.
Don't pull for me, dude. I'm telling you right now. JEU.
Oh
yes, I just won $20.
Oh my fucking God, that's crazy.
I don't know.
All right, I won't hold it to you now. When we're out next time, just grab around.
You spell it.
Fuck. JEALOUS.
Yeah.
He's right.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay.
There was a U.
Just a little.
All right.
You jumped the gun with the U, buddy.
I know.
We'll cut this out. Don't worry.
I got scared.
No, we ain't cutting this out. This is probably the best part of the podcast so far. The first game.
No one needs to know.
I got scared.
All right, but I mean, in all fairness, this is going out to a lot of people, so I know you get.
I can't spell jealous.
You get a little. You get a little nervous when you get put on the spot on the podcast. I get it. It's cool.
I probably can't spell it if you put me on the spot a week from now.
What other words can we have? This is a good game. What can John spell?
Say it again.
Spell it?
Wait. You just heard it.
Yeah, you just heard it.
Double or nothing.
Fuck.
I can't do it. I can't.
Double or nothing.
I can't.
I think I'd be mad at you.
I can't.
All right, try. Just try.
JELUS.
Dude, this is fucking insane.
Say it.
You owe 2 rounds.
JEALOUS. O-U-S.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, you said that,
that's
right?
Exactly,
That's what you said.
That's exactly
That's what you meant.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. That's exactly
That's what you meant.
it.
Something
You can say
lost.
it.
That Jelus. Got it. Nailed it.
You can say it. You're pretty good at that.
Yeah.
Don't
Wife
do
is
it.
calling
Oh.
me. The wife is calling me. I have ignored her call. But
You're like, we just started the podcast.
I'm
even
gonna
though-
write it. I'm gonna save it as my background on my phone so I remember it.
To call her back?
No, jealous.
Did you just text her? Don't be jealous that I'm on the podcast.
Dude, autocorrect is so sick.
It is. It is.
I'll tell you right now.
So like your phone. Think about having all the world's knowledge in your fucking hand. Like,
And I'm still a fucking idiot.
so I'm a little older, and I went to school before computers. Really, you know, we still had to look things up in the fucking what were those? Encyclopedia.
Wow.
Shit up in
Okay.
the
Hell yeah.
encyclopedia, dude. Before there was Wikipedia.
Yeah. I've looked up a lot of things in the dictionary.
Yeah.
I was really bad at spelling in middle school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys remember pre-computer.
Oh yeah. I remember speak to text when it first came out. I
don't
was
even
like,
remember.
I had my mother. I was like, we buy this? I was like, it will make my life a million times easier if you can just make speak to text. I can just talk. You can just buy this, and I'll just talk on a headset. And it sucked so fucking
For what
bad.
though? Like
For like writing reports.
It wasn't.
Oh, okay.
It was not dialed in from
It was
Massachusetts accent.
Dude, it was not.
I
dude,
guarantee it wasn't.
Not at all.
I'm
Not at all.
surprised Siri can understand half the shit I say in there right now.
Oh, they fucking learn though.
I know it's creepy.
It's fucking wicked creepy. So speak to text when it first came out, I was like, please buy this for me. Like, please. Like, I don't care. Like, it'll make me writing any essay back when I was in fucking middle school easier. Because I couldn't spell at all. I was like, fucking sucked at it. And I was like, okay, let's just speak to text. And it was even worse.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is fucking terrible. Like, I can't win anywhere.
You're like, my name is John Repetto from Worcester. And then already there was like fucking
A million.
Repetto and Worcester was
Yeah.
spelled wrong.
Yeah. Well, because
And it was John with no H.
Yeah, no H, yeah. Which is the coward's way to spell it.
Coward's way.
That's the coward's way to spell John.
Afraid of the H.
Yeah, afraid of the H. Yeah.
Fear the H.
Yeah. If you're Jon, then you're Jonathan, which is the coward's way to, go out. It's John all day.
Lines in the sand right there.
That's it.
If your name's John without an H, feel free to call up Eazy Company.
We're drawing it. We're drawing it right there.
Oh, shit. So I don't think we got to how you guys even started doing
Yeah.
the choppers yet.
No. No.
So we're gonna make this a 3-hour podcast.
That's easy.
fine.
Try and get
That's
the
easy.
story. the
That's
story.
easy. So,
We're already on 3 hours, really,
easy. Yeah, all day.
if you count.
Earlier.
recorded- yeah,
Well, I think
yeah.
we're on like 5 hours
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
But we started fucking with bikes while we were touring. I got a Honda. You had the Ironhead first, right?
yes.
Your first bike was an Ironhead?
Yeah.
All right, glutton for punishment.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, it
so
was.
the 79.
Yep.
Yeah. So he got the Ironhead first. I was fucking jealous as hell. Like I had a Honda
course.
CB750.
Of course,
It
yeah.
barely ran. I got it for $200.
That
And-
CB750 is worth a lot more than an Ironhead right now, though.
I know. I sold it to his family friend.
Yeah. Is it in a weird twist of fate?
Yeah. And it was actually like pretty stock. Like it was like original paint, like the whole nine. Got it for $200. The guy pulled half the carburetors apart, the other half he left together for reference. And I got it for $200 because he did that. He took the carburetors apart. And I was like, okay. I remember we were moving my cousin Brennan's, my uncle Brennan into his new apartment with his new girlfriend. And I was like, instead of paying me, can you give me the U-Haul for another fucking couple hours? And I'll pick this bike up, bring it home, and I'll bring the U-Haul back. And he's like, yeah, done. So did that, got the bike. The bike was a fucking,
What a shitty nephew.
oh yeah.
You gotta get paid to help.
Well, no, he told us.
all right.
Yeah,
I'm just fucking-
that
I'm
was
just
his.
fucking- I'm just fucking.
That was it. Yeah, Brennan, my cousin Brennan. I was getting fucking. I wasn't doing it without getting paid. Fuck
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
He was moving in with some fucking 23-year-old dude. He was like 53. You know, moving in with a 20-year-old or 25-year-old or some shit like that. Like he was living the high life.
Yeah.
So I got the bike, brought it back. Remember, and then
I do.
I had it at your house.
You went to your house first.
I went to my house first.
Yeah.
And then Didn't even know what a carburetor was. Ended up rebuilding the carburetors, putting them back together, getting them.
You had a 4-carb sync?
4-carb, bench synced them, printed out a bunch of stuff online, brought them to his parents' house, and ended up getting it running there. But you were already like in the process of hardtailing your bike?
Yes.
So
I had my bike a week and then tore it apart. I think it's been choppers from the beginning.
Straight up, yeah. Like I told him don't. I was like, don't do it. Don't chop it up yet. Like, let's ride
first. Yeah.
first. And he was like, no, and ripped the whole fucking bike apart. He's like, no, we're hardtailing this thing. I'll hardtail it. He told me, he goes, I'll hardtail it in the garage. And I was like, how? How do you do that? Like, what are you talking about?
That's the best, though, right? Like those early days. Like,
yeah.
How? It's so much fun.
That was part of it. Just learning was exciting.
Yeah. He was fucking like consuming everything. I was still like trying to spell jealous.
I went to your shop. I don't know if you remember this.
I remember both of you guys coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, we both went.
That was 2 shops. No, did you come to Wamsutta or did you come to Jenny Street?
Jenny Street.
Okay.
So that was the first shop we ever went to, ever.
With real motorcycles.
With real motorcycles in it. The first time we ever saw real motorcycles in person was your shop. And I, at that point, fast forward a little bit, got the Honda running, rode it back to my mother's house, and my grandfather fucking made fun of me. He was like, I was like, Bubba, you see my bike? And he's like, I don't care. It's not a Harley. And I was like, okay. Ended up buying an Iron Head from a guy in New Hampshire, and then had it. It was like $675 stock paint. Besides the top of the tank, they fucking painted this like eagle. I still have the tank. Eagle like Harley Davidson crest with the wings on it, and I had it for 2 months, and then smashed it into the side of a car. Just T-boned the side of a car with it. So I was like in the process of rebuilding it at his parents' house. I crashed it, brought it back to Mansfield, brought it to your parents' house, and then...
Did you have the garage or something?
My parents had like a shed in the back.
Okay.
That's where majority of everything happened.
Yeah. So his parents had a shed, brought it there, and insurance like totaled it, and so they gave me some money, but I kept the bike. I just had the title and everything, and I bought a front end that it was a 35 millimeter front end. I didn't know what the fuck I was buying. It was the first part I ever bought. Went to Bill Ricca to buy it. I still have the guy's number in my phone. He still calls me sometimes. And bought the front end. He's like, this will work. It was a 1-inch stem, so I had to get different cups. The cups, I was like, the cups don't fit. I was like, these cups don't work. So that's why we brought it to your shop to have them machined down, because you were like, I think Chopperhead can take care of it. Like, we just need them machined down a little bit to get them in, because we didn't know that you had to like smash them into the fucking neck.
Yeah.
You know, like we didn't know, like we were like, why aren't these fitting? They're not fitting at all. So we ended up going to you guys, and that's when we first like were like, holy shit, this is...
I don't remember. Did we just tell you to heat it up and fucking smash them?
No, you guys machined it down a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We were like, no, this is like, I was like, this is what I want. I need you guys to like dust these things on the lathe.
Okay.
And then I remember Jay being like, I'm gonna take a couple thou off, and I didn't know what the fuck that meant. And I was like,
okay,
sounds great.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, sure.
Sounds like a lot.
Yeah. I was like, okay, whatever you think. And then ended up like somebody being like, dude, this is the wrong front end. Selling it and just getting the right shit.
Yeah.
Bolting it all back up and riding it. But that was like the initial like run of like shit we had going on. It was like your parents' house, that shitty Honda, and then both of our, because we thought too, like we were like, we're gonna buy Iron Heads because it's gonna show us how to work on old bikes. I remember like both of us talking about it. It's like, oh, we'll buy Iron Heads because they'll teach us how to work on the bikes. Like they're these bikes that everyone says suck. So it makes sense to buy these. So we did. And it was a fucking nightmare. Like a total nightmare. I blew the rod bearings out of my motor. I crashed it a couple more times.
Yeah. But what made you want to do choppers from the, like you said, you got your first bike and it was like chopper right away? Do you remember?
I don't really, blogs mainly.
Yeah.
Like looking at a blog and being like, holy shit, what is that?
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like that before.
Yeah.
And then looking at a stock Harley Davidson and be like, well, what is that?
Yeah. I remember getting a horse magazine and Mark Drew's Panhead was in it. The one with the high pipes and the old, the wassail tank and stuff. And just being like the first horse I ever bought that was in it. And we were in the van driving like fucking across the country. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck? And reading the article and him being like, oh yeah. Like it was like on a dock on the dock over water and them being like, yeah, Mark was like it was not a big deal if it fell in the water because he'd just get the boat crane and fucking pull it out of the water. And I was like, that is the coolest sounding fucking thing ever. Like him just whatever, take the photos. If it falls in the water, it falls in the water.
We'll get it. Yeah.
We'll get it. I'm like, holy shit. Like trying to guess like what the motors were. I'm like, this is a Panhead, and like flipping and seeing like a Kawasaki and be like, is this an Indian? What is this? Like not knowing shit.
Yeah. Those are good times though.
Yeah. It was the best. Like not knowing anything about it and just like fully, because it was just really me and you, and then our buddy Josh was like into it, but like not the way that we were. We were like consuming fucking everything we could.
Yeah.
Everything. Like he showed me your guys' DVD. You showed you showed me the Sinners DVD, like all that stuff. I was like, what is this?
Yeah. This is whole thing going on.
I
love that feeling. I think that's what I'm drawn to.
Yeah. Like this just underground, like holy shit, like what the fuck is this thing? Like let's do it. Like let's try, like who knows what happened. And then we knew how to fabricate. So like that was kind of this whole like underlying thing. Is like we went to high school for metal fabrication. So it was like, okay, well.
At least you were in a smart shop. I was in graphic arts.
Oh, really?
We were running Heidelberg printing presses from like the 1800s.
Oh, shit.
That's wild.
New Bedford was like a depressed community. Like, so like when you went into like the shops, it was like, it wasn't. Vogue Tech is a whole different place now than it was.
Oh my God.
In the 90s.
It's different from when we were there.
Yeah.
They've got like plant life and
like way more like academic stuff. Like us were you on like 2 weeks of shop, 2 weeks of class? Yeah, that was great. Yeah. 2 weeks of shop was the best.
The best.
It
was dude, I feel like our class, like the class 2005 was like the last like wild era. Cause you'd hear all these stories of like years past and like the fucking teachers fighting the students and like people throwing each other in the sink. Like we had this big fucking sink that like you step on the handle, there's like water comes out on every single side, and like this big like fountain sink, and like we would call it sinking, where like you would just throw the person in the sink.
Yeah.
And that was like still a thing when we were like in freshmen and all that stuff. It was. And then after that, I feel like after our year, it was like done. Like they didn't do any of that shit.
There was a lot less bullshit tolerated.
Yeah, they weren't. They weren't dealing with any of that stuff. Like we were fighting our teachers.
Yeah.
We were like everybody was getting caught smoking cigarettes. Like it was just game on. It was straight up. You were in a trade. Like they never put the heat on for us during the winter. Like they didn't give a fuck. They were like, no, like you're gonna be in the trades. Like you're gonna be in a building with no heat. And it's going to suck. So we're never turning the heat on.
Here it is. Yeah.
Yeah, here it is. We had guys that, dropped out of high school that like ended up getting jobs through our teachers. And there'd be like dogs chasing them in the yard and stuff. It was like crazy. We'd get calls from them being like, don't leave high school. It's not good out here.
It sucks. Yeah.
It sucks. But yeah, that was like the whole start of all that shit. We felt like at least I did. I felt like we had a little bit of an advantage because we knew how to weld.
Well, yeah, that was a good shop to be in.
Yeah.
For what you guys wanted to do.
Yeah, and I mean, we didn't really know that was the path, but.
And we didn't use it for.
When we graduated, we were like, nah, we're all set.
Yeah.
Like, when we graduated, I was like a cook at like a breakfast place. 18 years old or whatever, at a cook. And then you worked at like what was it, the machine shop?
I worked at a machine shop for a while.
Well, we went to college first. We went to college. We both went to college for 1 month.
Dropped out.
And then he went to a machine shop and I was like a cook in Mansfield at Cafe on the Common.
Yeah.
Is this place Cafe on the Common. And I worked there for a year. and then broke my arm at Warped Tour, quit, and then got a welding job. So did that, moved into the city, and then got the gig touring. And that's when we were like, I remember touring for a couple of years and then getting into bikes.
How did you get tech jobs touring?
We use the word tech very loosely.
I can't even play guitar.
Yeah.
Literally can't play guitar at all. Like, I'm musically retarded.
So but you can tune one.
I can tune one.
String one and tune one.
Yeah, of course. And replace fucking pickups and, I can solder.
Yeah.
But it's not like that was required. But you were merch for a while.
I did it all.
Yeah.
I was like, my first tour, well, my first real tour was Warped Tour, and I walked around selling CDs, which is totally not my personality. I was like, hey, you want to buy this CD for 4 Years Strong? That was terrible.
How did you get in? Did you guys know them, something from school or friends?
Our friend Josh started touring with them.
Okay.
I think he was selling
And we
merch.
went to high school with him.
Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
I was just looking for the in that led to how this
But
was.
I don't really
Josh.
know how he got in.
Josh got in through, I literally think like he was touring with that band Energy. He was like friends with like,
Maddie. I lost words.
oh, maybe Matty Lost for Words got him
Yeah.
in. He was like doing some tour shit with Energy when they first started, and then got in with 4 Years Strong selling merch, because 4 Years Strong was like a real touring band that was like paying money, and then progressed in there, brought Craig in because he was like, you're a fuck up, you're definitely not the guy. Brought Craig in, and Craig and him were touring, and so I was like, oh, well, my friends are gone. I'm like living in Boston. Like, I'm like, okay, well, I'll just figure it out, I guess.
Yeah.
And then like a year later, I was like, please just take me on tour. And he was doing merch. I got brought on, but I was the free guy. I was like, sell CDs,
Whatever. Yeah.
Whatever
needed. Yeah.
right? And then I saw there was like a little bit of a void in like the guitar tech space, and I was like, all right, fuck it, I'll just figure this out. Like, I'll just tune guitars and do whatever stage setup. So I did everything for that first tour, and then they were like, you want to stay on? And I was like, yeah, fuck it. So it was all three of us now on tour, and he was still merch at the time. But once like that second club tour happened, they were like, well, we need 2 guitar techs. I don't know why they thought that.
Well, a drum tech too.
Oh, a drum tech, yeah. So Craig was, drum tech too. So it was like, well, we need like a full stage setup. So we did that, and it was just me, him, and then Josh tour managing.
So I'm a little disappointed in you, Craig, because I figured with all that merch experience, you guys would have way like some rad setup for shows.
Yeah, well, that's my punk rock side coming out. Like, fuck it.
We
around.
say fuck it a lot.
Yeah, we probably shouldn't, but it's like hard to.
Dude, when's the last time there was a new chopper head design, dude? I'm like, man,
It's such a pain in the dick, dude.
And then everyone's like, and then trying to keep everything in all the sizes and runs.
Dude, it sucks.
I don't do that. We're not a merch company. Like,
Yeah.
We do a run of shirts and then they're gone for months, and we're like,
Then we'll do another run.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I can't keep up.
It sucks.
The merch thing, we're still like figuring out. Like, we don't.
You were the
like,
merch guy for a touring band. Like,
Yeah, which is also not part of my personality. Okay, I'm not. I'm not that guy.
But that's the thing, right? You gotta be flexible.
Yeah.
We've just been winging it. It's straight winging it, you know? And then, so the tour shit happened. And when the tour shit happened, that's when we bought our first bikes and started doing all the chopper shit. And, once, like, we were still touring while we were still building stuff in the shed and all that stuff like that. But then there was a point where like the band was going to stop touring. And I had like I've been dating my wife since I started touring. Like, we were, together since I met her and I was like, hey, I'm leaving for 2 months. She was like, okay,
Cool.
like, cool, I guess. And so once they were
That's
like,
when
hey,
tours were still like months, not like a couple weeks.
Exactly.
or a
Yeah.
weekend.
No, we were gone for like fucking a month and a half at a time.
Yeah.
And so once they were like, hey, we're going to take a break, I was like, well, let's just get real jobs. And that's when Josh started the barbershop. That's when he, went to go work doing a pipe fitting. And I was like, I'm just going to get a welding gig. And then when we started doing that, we were like, it was like instantly, we were like, we had years of like freedom, like this, just living on the road, like doing whatever.
Pirate shit, dude.
Pirate shit. Like,
I miss
fun.
it.
oh, dude, it was unreal. Like, it was just like, so.
It's not regular life. It's
Not
a
at
whole
all.
different thing.
Yeah. So we were like, dude, we were like living this crazy life that like, no, we can't talk to anybody besides each other about it.
And it's the most structured, unstructured thing when you're on a tour of that magnitude because you get that sheet.
Yeah.
It's like your day sheet.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, we're going to be here at this time, loadings this time, loadouts this time, bus calls this time. But you're also just wild because you're like in Prague or some fucking place. And you're
Yeah.
like, what the
We
fuck's
were
going
like,
on?
it was like, okay, yeah, loadings this time, loadouts this time. Anything in between, as long as the show goes good, do whatever you want. And we were like, became like really close with the whole band and like the whole crew was just us. Like it was just it was us three and then our buddy Alex, and whoever we brought on tour for fun. It was this like fantasy world. So once we got real jobs, we were like, this fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Like, let's figure out getting back to that. So that's like what I feel like the shop has been ever since is like
So it's
chasing.
like either do a band or do a motorcycle shop.
Yeah, I guess so. And
Thank God we didn't start a band.
Yeah, seriously, I can't even spell jealous.
You'll sing.
The lyrics are always all right.
You do a cover of Black Flag Jealous again, but it's JELUS.
Oh, that's pretty good.
So that's what it was. It was like, dude, let's try to figure out getting back to that, like getting back to this like
Fun,
free like thing. And while we were working regular jobs and shit, like our boy Joe, the bassist of 4 Year Strong, and Jay bought that building, and they were talking to us about it before they were looking for spots, and they were like, hey, we're gonna think about buying a building in Worcester. Would you guys want to move? Because we weren't really like a shop then.
No.
We were like doing stuff for friends and like doing our own thing.
Where did Eazy Co come from? The name.
Him. We were driving in his fucking truck, and when we decided that we were going to move into that building, we were like, we're going to make this a business, and we didn't know what that meant. We didn't have a name. He called the shed at his parents' house like the Rising Sun, and like we were going to start like a blog, like the Rising Sun blog.
Yeah, that was the idea.
That was like the idea, and when we moved into the building, we're like, oh, let's maybe like make a run at making it a business. And we just couldn't think of any names. We went
Kind of the worst part.
Yeah. It's awful.
So then it just comes, right?
Yeah. So he said Eazy Co, and I was like, it was the one thing that we both weren't like yuck about. I mean, it's not a great name.
Doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
That's what's great.
Yeah, and that's kind of what we thought. We were like, well, Eazy Co, like let's just make it like he was watching Band of Brothers, right?
That's what it was, yeah. You ever seen that?
Yeah.
That's essentially where it came from.
Okay.
I was like, just like when they say Easy Company. I don't know.
Yeah, and I was like, and that was the one name where we were going back and forth where I was like, that'll work.
But it's spelled like Easy E, not Easy Co.
That was our one change.
That was
That's one
the one
contribution.
change.
John spelled that.
You're like, all right, Eazy Co. EAZY
He did great.
KO. Fuck. But
Thank you.
yeah. But that was like the one thing where we didn't like scoff at. Like we went through all sorts of dumb fucking.
Yeah.
Like I was like, dude, what about Dirty Birds?
I remember that one. It's called Dirty Birds, which would be hilarious.
You're gonna make a Dirty Bird shirt.
I know.
Dirty Bird
I was
shirt.
like, what about that? And you were like, I think at the time there was like a UFC fighter that was Dirty Bird or something like that,
right.
and that's what it was.
That
And he was
ruined
like,
it,
yeah, and he was like, no, that's dumb. And then it was Eazy Co, and I was like, I keep it in the cans. And I was like, that might work, I guess. Like, what the fuck? And I'm sure there's a million better names out there, but
Doesn't matter. That's the one that stuck.
that's the one that stuck. And then when we thought about the logo, we were like, well, I don't know, like let's make it not motorcycle. Like we didn't want it to be motorcycle related because we were like, who knows what this fucking thing could be? Like we were like, yeah, let's make a motorcycle shop, but we were also like so not confident in like in like it being a shop. We're like, is it gonna be a motorcycle shop? Like who knows? Like let's just make it kind of like void of anything. Like, let's just do we have both, like me, him, and a few of our friends have like pineapple tattoos. And we're like, let's just do like a pineapple with like lightning bolts and just see what happens. Like that's really what it was. It was
So
just
was it not like a weed reference or anything?
no, like not a swinger reference.
No,
unfortunately, not a weed. None of that shit. Like unfortunately, we're not.
But
swingers.
it all works into it.
Yeah, we were like, well, if
You gotta let the myth build itself.
right, like if it's cool enough, I guess it'll work. Like
Yeah.
Foo Fighters is a bad name, but it fucking works.
I like that name.
I heard.
Do you know what it's in reference to?
Is it a? It's like the
Bad Brains, bro.
no,
No.
it's a plane.
I thought that's
No.
what
It's a plane,
In
isn't it?
World War II, there was these little orbs that were like fucking with planes. Paranormal orbs, and they called them Foo Fighters.
Really?
I'm thinking
So
of
it's
Beastie
actually-
Boys.
I thought it was a plane thing.
Yeah,
Okay,
but it is
yeah.
a plane
It
thing.
is,
It was,
yeah.
but it was in World War II, and they called them Foo Fighters because they couldn't figure out what it was. They thought it was like some secret like Japanese tech or something, but it was like orbs like flying around planes and
No
fucking with them.
shit.
Whoa.
That brings us right into the fucking Bridgewater Triangle, baby.
Which you're sitting in, baby.
I know.
You're in it. You're in the
Dude.
you're in the bottom right hand corner.
I'm fucking upset. I'm not gonna lie. I'm upset.
About what?
Because our high school is on the Hockomock Swamp.
Okay.
It's directly on the Hockomock Swamp. I've gone into those woods in the back of our high school. None of those fucking retards that we were fucking in school with got
You were
to.
fucking retards in high school.
We were fucking retards in high school, and but like
None of them had any paranormal.
I didn't see. I unfortunately never got to see anything. Like
I don't see shit either, dude.
yeah. But it's like, dude, it's such a fun. It's so fucking fun.
Yeah.
I love it. I do. I love it.
I lie though. I did see one thing. Speaking of Foo Fighters, and
Okay.
around, I was coming home from Boston like 3 a.m, and I had like 2 orbs shoot out in front of me and like bounce around my window and then shoot off. And I was
Really?
in the old part of town on Chase Road in Freetown, right near where there's this old cemetery. And I'm not fucking around or saying it. And I literally stopped and I was like, "What the fuck?" And I backed up. And it was like 3 a.m. There was no one around.
Right.
And I was trying to like bounce my headlights off shit to see if something was weird. I got out of the truck. It was nothing, dude. I was like,
Oh
"Fuck."
shit. I'm gonna drink a water. Craig saw something.
You pulled that out like it was like a Nicolada.
I
or
know.
something. I was like, dude, what?
I saw like a fireball. I'll call it that because I don't know. how else- Yeah.
Where were you?
In Easton.
You're in Easton.
Yep. Driving a girl back with Dan Sullivan
There you go.
in my Buick Century and just driving in the middle of the night to a house and a straight up fireball went across the street and disappeared. And all of us saw it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very strange.
Crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, that I feel like I didn't get my Hockomock Swamp. Like I didn't.
So I did an episode with this guy exploring with Phil.
Yeah.
Who does, he explores the Bridgewater Triangle. And he said, on it, he's like, he couldn't
I
find.
listened to that first. That first one's fucking.
Not the Chris Pittman one.
Oh, the Pittman one is.
Yeah, that's different. This guy exploring with Phil, and he was like, I can't. He wants to explore he wants to do the Freetown Forest at night, but he couldn't find anyone to go with him. So me and Joe are going with him.
Really,
If you want to go,
dude. I'll go. I will.
You guys want to go?
Because I never went with them. You went with Tank and Josh and them.
I never did that.
Oh, you didn't go. You
No.
didn't do that.
But he does like this whole thing. Like he's got all the equipment and does like,
Really?
does all the shit.
Are you gonna do it?
Yeah, we're gonna do it like in August or something.
I'm down,
I'll let you know.
I'm
It's
down.
gonna be a
You wanna
Saturday
go?
night.
I'll go.
dude.
It's gonna be a Saturday night.
Let's do it. Because, dude, we grew. I mean,
But it's also the guy doesn't know like that. It's gonna also like be a little stupid.
yeah.
Not him,
Yeah.
like us.
Right.
Phil, I'm sorry if you're listening to this, but like,
I mean, come on.
We're gonna ask the spirits retarded questions.
Of course. And we're
And
gonna,
you're gonna be
we're
a-
gonna be half cocked.
We're gonna do a spelling bee with you and a ghost.
the ghost will win.
Spell ghost.
G-O-S-T.
Yep. 100%. That's it.
Now you're just hamming it up. We just asked you to spell jealous again. It'll be a few weeks.
Please don't.
It'll be a few weeks.
Please don't.
All right. But yeah, well, fuck yeah, man. So, so you guys came up with a name. You got a space,
Yeah. So
and then
when the New Tradition building became a thing, that's when we were like,
see, for some reason, I thought you guys were doing stuff, and I knew you were, but like as Eazy Co before that.
no, we were just always together.
That's what it
That's what it was.
What it is,
yeah. We were just all there was no bike shit ever happening when we weren't together. Like if rides, whatever, like we were going together because like that's all. Our other friends were like into it, but they weren't
the same
way that we were. Like we were fucking into it, like watching all the stuff, looking at all the blogs, saving all pictures. I mean, dude, I still have my old computer with fucking a million pictures saved in a file. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
All that old shit. And so when Joe and Jay bought the building, like it was a moto collective. That was like, remember back in the day, like that was like a thing, like guys buying spaces for like moto collectives. Like
has never worked in the history of mankind. Works for like 3 months, fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And like the 4th month, shitty nature comes through and you realize tools go missing, fucking shit gets broken.
Yeah. Or
people
like
stop paying rent.
Right. Everybody makes a fucking mess.
Yeah.
You know, and like, or don't know, or say they know how to use tools and don't fucking hurt themselves.
Break shit,
yeah.
So hurt themselves and then try and sue the thing. Yeah.
So that's what it was originally.
Yeah.
We came and we had 2 benches and we just like, I feel like it was within the month we like took over.
We're a disease.
We're a bit of a disease, yeah. So we were just like, we're gonna make a business out of this. Like
that should be the next shirt. We're a bit of a disease.
We're a bit of a seriously, yeah. But yeah, that was it. It was just like we're gonna start a business. Nobody else thought that. Everybody was like, yeah, I'm gonna work on this. I'm gonna work on that. Blah blah blah. Like not really showing up. We were there every fucking day, like nonstop.
Yeah.
Late. Like they gave us the keys to the fucking castle, and I was like, we're like game fucking on. Built our boy Josh's bike, and then that's what we had at the first hard times, like raw, like no paint. And we were like, fuck it. Let's just see what happens. Like working day jobs, doing that. Coming there, like, you know, at all hours of the night and just trying to get something done. Like and trying to figure out really just trying to figure out how the fuck we can, because like to me, and I feel like to him too, like was like, how do we progress from Ironheads to like Big Twins? It's like, we don't have fucking money. Like, I don't fucking have any money. Yeah. You know, it's like, how do I get from an Ironhead to a fucking knucklehead?
Remember when like a shovel head was like unobtainium? Like you're like,
everything.
How the fuck would I get a shovel head?
A Big Twin was not something that I ever thought I'd ever own. Or either of us would ever own. It was like, oh, we're Ironhead guys. Like, we're gonna be really good at that, you know. I remember talking to him because I saw like a lot of guys like that we grew up with that were like getting into bikes too, kind of, but like not the same way we were. But they were buying old bikes and they were like into it adjacent. And I was like, dude, Craig, if we get good at this, we can buy all their bikes. Like that was like a thing that I said. I was like,
when they go to sell them,
when they go to sell them, I was like, dude, if we get good at this, we can fucking buy them all. It was like something that I had in my head where I'm like, let's just own them all. Let's own all these bikes.
They're going to give up.
Yeah, because it was like, dude, it was fucking crazy. Like trying to get a shitbox Ironhead on the road was a nightmare. And it was like once we got proficient-ish at it, I was like, dude, we'll end up owning all these fucking bikes. And then we'll have all these Ironheads.
Have all the Ironheads. I was like, what a dream.
I was like, what a dream.
What a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, I was like, what a dream come true. And then it just progressed. And it was like, I guess it was kind of just like skateboarding where I was like, oh, well, I guess we can just sell these. Like you sold your bike, but I still have my first bike. Like I still have that purple chopper that I built. And, we just made it all, like we just made it work. We had no money. We had nothing. We didn't put any money into the business. We didn't even know how to run a business. We were like, we're going to move into this place. We're going to start a business. We started fucking saying yes to anybody that said they wanted us to build a bike for them. And that's what it was. It was like, okay, I'll just fake it till I make it, I guess. Like the same thing with touring. It was like, I don't know how to tune a guitar. I'll fake it till I make it. I don't know. Ask a bunch of guys around me. And that's what it turned into, was like, you know, building bikes for guys, taking that money and putting it back in the business, you know, printing some shirts, making some money back on it, putting it back in the business, and then buying more and more shit, getting a mill. Snowballing. Like that's what it was. It was from the beginning. Like we didn't start with a fucking dime. And eventually like buying our, you know, I remember I was at the Thompson Speedway car swap, and a dude had the ugliest bike I've ever seen. It was this yellow checkered flag, swing arm, STD pan shovel. It was a slab side shovel head. And I was like, what's up with this thing? And it was on a trailer. It was in the middle of the fucking field. And he was like, oh, I don't it's for sale. I want $8,000. It's, I'm from Worcester. And I was like, oh, my shop's in Worcester. He's like, no way. So I waited a few months, talked to him. I was like, what's up, dude? Like, you got paperwork for it? He's like, no. I was like, ended up talking to him, getting it for fucking $2,000. And I remember we flipped a bunch of shit to get it. And I paid him $2,000 for it. And that was like that was our first big twin. Like, that was the first shop big twin, was that STD pan shovel. And built that like 6-bend with the covers on the 33.4 front end, like the crab bike, and ended up crashing that bike a fucking bunch. But that was like the first big twin we had in the shop, and we're like, no way. Sold that to get a panhead, and like it all just snowballed.
Yeah.
And like it went kind of out of control a bit. Like we kind of lost grasp of it for a second, where we were like, what the fuck? Like people wanting us to build bikes like that we weren't ready for.
Yeah.
And like kind of just being like, okay, I guess we're going to try to do this, and like pulling it off and then getting paid for it and putting it back into I was just like, what the fuck is going on here? Like I'm working a regular job and then this at night till midnight. My wife is like not psyched. It's like, holy fucking shit. And just snowballed into what it is now, I guess.
Yeah.
Which even now I'm like, I feel like we haven't done shit.
Yeah, I
you
get
know?
that.
You're always going to feel like that.
Okay.
It's always that way.
Yeah.
Because you're really into it. Like, when are you going to feel like you there's never resting on your laurels.
Right.
It's like, all right, what's the next thing? Well, what's the next thing, right?
Yeah, of
that's
course.
Always like, do something cooler. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it never ends. It's a sickness.
It really fucking is. And it's
not always a pleasant. It's not always like to your benefit. Like,
no.
Hardly ever is, right? Like
Never.
It's just fun, you know what I mean? In a sick, twisted way.
It's the best fucking time, man.
Yeah.
Like getting to go to shows and like having friends there, like hanging out with you, like at our thing, and like at anything in the country, like having friends across the country into this shit, being able to ride with people that like don't live remotely close to you, that you've just known and are friends with, and like that shit's the fucking best, dude. And like we talked about that stuff from the jump, where we're like, dude, one day we'll be able to bring bikes here and there. And like the past 2 years have been pretty crazy, because like we went to fucking Daytona, Fuel Cleveland, Milwaukee, Virginia City Roundup, Vermont, New Hampshire, like all like just like all over the place. And it's like, that's the shit that we always talked about. And now it's like here, and we're like, what the fuck? Like,
Can't do all that?
Yeah, like how do we even make that happen?
Yeah. No, it's crazy. Then it doesn't end. It just goes.
Right. It's wild. It's fun as fuck. I mean, this is like the best. It's the best industry to be in, I think.
Yeah, it's fucking great. It's not the smartest industry
Never.
to be in, but it's the funnest. It's one of the funnest.
It's the dumbest industry to be in, but it is the funnest.
Dumbest and funnest.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like that's been
Well, in the
fucking
Northeast,
lot.
at least. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some places where you have like more of a year-round riding season, it's a little bit
Right.
smarter, you know what I mean? Or easier, I guess, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, even like, dude, like the people you meet in this whole thing, it's like, it's everybody's gets it. Like the guys that really get it, like it's like you instantly become fucking boys with them.
And it doesn't even matter the age range sometimes.
No.
Right? It could be like a 20-year-old kid, or it could be like a 60-year-old dude. And it's fucking cool.
Yeah, like, I mean, we got a bunch of old friends, like even our mechanic Paul.
That dude's the best.
I
love that guy, dude.
He's a
I'll end up
maniac.
hanging out with him all the time.
Yeah.
Like, whenever I see him, like he'll come right over and he's like, "What's up, man?" Fucking, and just go.
He's a fucking maniac, dude.
Yeah.
And we're with that guy every day, and we've known him because he worked at Barnstorm before
Yeah.
we even had our shop. He rebuilt both of our motors. And the dude's just like a wealth of knowledge, and he's got like his own weird quirks, and it's like he's the fucking best, but he's also a fucking nightmare. You know, but you have to make it through that like gnarly exterior to like get to like, because the dude is an unbelievable wealth of knowledge.
Sure.
Like an encyclopedia.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like you got to break through that fucking gnarly exterior. Like he ain't gonna just give it to you. Like you got to really fucking hang around and deal with his bullshit.
Yeah. Like he'll know what to expect, but he ain't gonna tell you. Be like, look it up.
Not even that. Like you got to deal with a fucking him just calling you a fucking asshole for 2 weeks straight. You know,
that's the best. That's
how
like
it should be.
The old ways. You know what I mean? Now it's like someone comes in and you're not like customer service. They get upset.
Yeah.
Because my favorite thing is like my buddy works over at Harley, and people will come here and then they'll go to Harley and complain about here. They're like, well, he wasn't nice or blah blah blah, and it's like. Did he? And Ryan, my buddy, I'll put his name out, Ryan, right?
Yeah.
You know, like, did he talk to you? And they're like, yeah. And he was like, all right, he's all right then. He liked you. You know what I mean?
He gave you the time of day.
Yeah. It was like, fuck, dude. But like, it's business, man. Like, you come in, like, what's up? What do you need? You know what I mean? It's like, you know what I mean? Like, all right, because when you're gone, I got to get back to whatever I was fucking doing.
Right.
But whatever. That's a whole different thing. So, how about the show, man? I mean, we're coming right off the tail end of the show, the Eazy Times show, or Worcester Bike Week, you know, which happened a couple weeks ago. We were going to do this right before to help promote it, but you know, life gets in the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, so talk a little bit about the show, how that came about, like what's like the story behind it, what the deal is with the show, that type of shit.
Yeah, Eazy Times Worcester Bike Week. It was Eazy Times Chopper Rally like last year, and then Chicken Rick threw out the Worcester Bike Week, and
then it stuck. Yeah,
it fucking stuck, dude. We couldn't. There's no denying that shit. Like that is the funniest thing ever.
Yeah, especially since it's like a one afternoon show.
It's just a day. It's just one day.
Yeah.
And then we were like, just like, fuck it, let's just troll everybody and just say it's the largest 24-hour bike week on earth, and you know, whatever. But yeah, no, it's great. I mean, it started off as a whole other show, like Hard Times.
Yeah.
And it's Hard Times was cool, but the dude running it was a fucking culture vulture. So we were like, fuck that, you know? You called me and we're like, hey, what's going on with this kid? And I'm like, hey, I don't know. What do we got to do? And it ended up working out, you know what I mean? Like,
actually, I remember saying, you should take this show.
Oh yeah. I remember the phone, dude. The phone call was
like,
fucking,
you guys, you should be doing this show. Just fucking take it.
Yeah, and that I was like, I didn't even think about that being an option, and I was like, yeah, this kid does suck. I was like, fuck it, let's just take it.
Yeah,
and then
because the kid started ripping all kinds of people off.
Oh yeah,
whatever, you know, even on the screen printing side or whatever. Like,
yeah, it wasn't like the show side necessarily, but I did hear some complaints from people that like on the show side he was kind of fucking around, and then, you know, he just ended up fucking it up for himself. So we were like, fuck that. You know, COVID happened. The show didn't happen. And then we were like, you know what? Ran that kid out of town, and it's time to take it over. So we just wanted to have it like, dude, going to full speed. Like that Battleship pre-party was like, that's what you want. You want it to be a party. You want that. You want
good time. Right?
You want the time. You want it all to be a good time. And we were like, well, fuck it. Let's just do that. Like, there's no show bikes. There's no like nothing like that. We're like, come party,
ride in show.
Like, please ride your stuff to the show, and we'll just fucking see how it goes. And then the first year was good. Like that first year turned out good. Like a lot of people showed up. So we're like, all right, I guess we'll try it again. And then this year happened, and we thought we were going to get rained out, but everybody showed up again, you know? And it was like the same thing. It was like an awful parking lot in Worcester, this crazy old bar. It's the worst bar. It's the worst parking lot ever.
It's the worst park. It's a good bar.
It's a great bar.
It's the worst parking lot ever.
Yeah.
And they put zero effort into trying to rehab it.
It'll never happen.
No.
I've only seen that.
No, should it? Because if the parking lot was all good, that would take a little bit away.
Yes. Yeah, it wouldn't be the same show.
It wouldn't be the same.
We'd have to probably find a new place if the parking lot was better. The divots are
potholes and mud and fucking
it's so
dirt
crazy.
And blowing all over. If it's not raining, then there's just dust blowing all over the place.
Yeah, and it's hot as balls, and it's in the middle of this fucking awful parking lot, and it's just like
in the middle of Worcester.
Worcester, show up and party your fucking ass off, like the pre-party.
What else are you gonna do?
That's it. Like in the middle of the summer, you know what I mean? Like pre-party the Friday night. Whoever's in town from out of town, come to the pre-party party, and then make it through the next day. That's like this year. I was like struggling. I mean, I sat at your booth for how long?
Yeah, probably like 3 hours.
Yeah, I was struggling, dude. The pre-party was like, you get
pre-parties are the best worst idea. Like they're the best when they're happening, but they're the worst the next day.
John was half a person in the morning.
What's that?
John was half a person in the morning. He couldn't make a decision. Should we do this? Should we do that?
Dude.
Let's get I'm like, oh my God.
I was all over the place. Yeah, I was like, pouring sweat. I didn't bring a change of clothes. Like I just grabbed all my shit because like, my daughter's brand new pretty much. So I'm like, I'm fucking stressing about all that. I'm like, well, I'm not gonna be here for 24 hours. So like, we'll figure it out. Don't even bring like a change of clothes. Nothing. I slept in my boy's hotel room that he rented. He's from Florida. Like our boy Ryan came up and rented a hotel, and I was like, I'm crashing with you, dude. Put him on the back of my bike Friday night and was like, him and Craig rode from Vincent's back to the shop to bring the bikes back, and that was a fucking shit show of a ride. Like total shit show. He ended up puking after the fucking ride because it was just like I shouldn't have been on the road.
Yeah.
And then
I couldn't save him there.
Yeah. And then the next day, like Ryan flew up from Florida for this. I don't think he showed up till 3:00 in the afternoon.
Yeah. Missed half the show.
Missed half the show. It was which
he came as people were like starting to do. Yeah. Some people were starting to dwindle, like the first wave was starting to dwindle.
100%. Which to me, like that's like we did a good job. Like we did a fucking good job. Like Friday night he showed up, we got fucking after it, and Saturday he barely could make the show. We did our fucking job. Yeah,
I did that Friday night at Vincent's, probably the last time or something. I remember that.
Yeah,
and then I was like,
it's bad.
Yeah.
It's bad news, but you should come out for it.
I know, it's fun.
Because it's fun. Yeah, our boy, our boy Jason puts it on, Blackwash Tattoo Gallery. He's down the street from us, and Jason Robson, Blood Creek. He hosts that whole thing, which was fucking amazing. And it's just Vincent's is our personal opinion is a good bar.
It's a good bar, man.
It's my favorite bar in Worcester.
Yeah, mine too, probably.
Yeah,
but I like Ralph's a lot too.
I do too.
But Ralph's more like, I consider that more of a venue than a bar. Even though the downstairs is just like a bar, but it still seems more like a venue.
Vincent's is like straight up bar. That's it. The shit that they got in that bar is killer. Like they have like all this taxidermy, all this old.
Yeah, it's just an old dive bar. It's
killer.
Good bar, yeah.
Meatball subs?
Meatball subs are unreal.
I never had the meatball subs.
Really?
I'll have to try next time.
Oh, dude, you got to get one.
I don't even think anyone gave me a heads up about the meatball subs.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know.
Dude, you got
But I think when I showed up last time, I was already fucked up when I got there, so like no one's going to tell me about it. Like, whatever, yeah.
Yeah, there's no meatball subs.
And then the next day, I would have been, fuck, I wish I had a meatball sub.
Oh, dude, it's so good. Yeah, they have 3 things on the menu. Meatball sub, a plate of meatballs, or spaghetti and meatballs. Yeah. That's it.
You're getting a meatball.
You're getting a meatball. That's it. You're getting a fucking meatball.
Yeah. You want to, even if you're a fucking vegan.
Yeah.
Meatball.
Meatball. And they're good.
Yeah.
But yeah, Vincent's the night before and then Ralph's the next day. And it's, as you know, like you stress out about the fucking show. Like you want it to be good. Me and him stress out the most about just it being a good time. Like I don't care how many vendors are there. I don't care. Like, I want all the vendors to do well. You know what I mean? We don't charge for vendors at all because we want everybody to have a fucking good time. It's $5 at the fucking door. That's it. And you come in. Once you enter, like, it's kind of like a rally a bit where it's like when you enter the gates, like, it's just have at it. Grab beers from the bar, come outside, party the whole nine. There's people getting fucking tattooed in the dirt.
Yeah.
Smart. Yeah. It's,
You should get a tattoo of a meatball.
Straight up.
Hell yeah.
I was trying to convince people this year to get a fucking outline of a hot dog on their face.
Yeah.
In a bun.
On their face, yeah.
On their face.
That's hard.
That's hard. No one did it.
Today's National Hot Dog Day, too, by the way.
Is it?
Yeah.
I got to get a hot dog tattoo.
You should fuck. We might be able to figure that out right now.
Yeah?
I don't know.
Shit. All right. Some kid did get Eazy Times tattooed on his hand.
Nice.
Like, which was pretty gnarly. We were given $100 to gnarliest tattoo and then $100 to the best wheelie, which Jesse Party got the wheelie contest with his that Evo Sportster trike, hammered some wheelies. So we're just trying to make it like full-blown chaos.
Trike is a little unfair advantage.
It is a bit unfair, yeah. But he was really...
See, I didn't miss... I was kind of enslaved to the booth.
Oh, yeah.
That was also really
He was like riding him out, like hanging him out there. He was
He
doing
was going
well.
like this. Not that a trike can tip, but you're like, oh.
Yeah.
It was good. Like I yelled it out to a few like areas of people watching, and everybody was like, "Yeah, that's the guy."
He got it.
You know, he got it.
I'm not discounting it.
No,
I'm just saying. Trikes are known to wheelie. That's all.
That's true. That is true. He did.
As someone that owns a trike.
Yeah, that is. Yeah. Where the fuck is that? The
It's out there, dude. It's right out there.
I didn't
Is
see
it?
it either. Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's my favorite fucking.
You
trike.
didn't look to the right when you walked up.
Yeah, that's my favorite trike on earth.
It's so dumb.
It's my favorite.
It's so dumb.
Well, that trike was in the shop when we first went to
I
your
remember
shop,
that.
like ever. Like that.
Yeah,
was
when I just had the rolling chassis.
the rolling chassis, and I was like, "What?"
Because that had a
is this?
knucklehead in it.
Yeah.
I couldn't afford the knucklehead, but I bought off my buddy out in fucking Iowa, this kid Junior, and he had it, and he bought it to buy the truck to rip the knucklehead out. And
Oh,
then
shit.
Then I bought the roll.
Dude, what a unreal.
Because I always wanted a stupid trike, and I was like,
What an
okay,
unreal bike.
Can't really. It's not JP Rodman, right?
No, I
That's a
get
different
that.
thing.
Yeah, it's
but this is like
No,
a
that
survivor idiot trike. Like that's about
straight
as
up wood
dumb as it
carved
gets, yeah.
whiskey barrel, like
hillbilly-
old survivor paint, weed
hillbillies
leaves.
riding donkeys.
Yeah.
Making moonshine, hiding from revenuers. Yeah.
I remember seeing the antisocial slab side and that and being like, holy fuck. This is like something that we could we do this? Like I was like, is this something that we could do? Like,
Anyone can. Right?
Holy
Like, just
shit.
Put your mind to it and do it.
Yeah. I was like, what the fuck? You know, and that thing was like burned in my brain forever. And I remember hitting you up for the nutrition show, which I appreciate you fucking putting it together and bringing it, man. Was like,
Oh yeah. That trike's a pain in the fucking balls.
I believe
to
it.
bring Anyway,
Dude,
sucks,
I can't thank you enough for bringing it because it was like my favorite part of that show. Like you bringing that out, dude.
yeah.
And then
that
like
nutrition show was cool, man.
it was fun.
Yeah, it was
fun. It was like middle of winter, like just fun show.
Yeah, like that's the one thing that like in New England is good is to do like some kind of like you guys did that. We did the one up in Boston.
Yeah.
And it was fun because it was just you need that shit like
Dude,
for
the Boston one was
inspiration, just to
fun.
fucking do shit. Just
You got to get out of the house.
sucks, you know. The winter sucks out here, you know. So it's like good to have cabin fever type shit to do.
Of course. And then be able to, because like everybody gets kind of lazy. They don't hang out as much.
Yeah.
You don't see as many people in the winter
Yeah,
time.
everyone kind of hibernates.
Yeah, yeah. And then it gets everybody out, and you can tell because everybody gets shit faced like
Everyone's
way
they're
too
all
fast.
excited. Yeah. Like an hour and a half into it, everyone's like fucking falling over.
Shit faced.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. It's real good. So I don't know. We'll figure out something.
So what's like you guys like? What's like your favorite part of doing the show? Or you know, like there's a lot of stress, there's a lot of work involved. What's like the payoff? You know what I mean? Like what's your favorite part of it?
Man, for me, I think it's people that come from out of town. Like the dudes that like our boys from like Kyle and Murph and those dudes like from Baltimore and some like, you know, I sent it out to like a few people like in Pennsylvania, like this kid. It's like a younger dude, but he bought this Survivor panhead. I forget his fucking name on Instagram.
Weak Weld.
Weak Weld. Yeah, that kid bought this killer Survivor panhead. Rebuilt it, got it running, and fucking the first person I see Saturday morning, I'm like, I go to Ralph's. Me and him go to Ralph's. We start setting up, and I had to run back to the shop, and I had our buddy Jace's fiance bring me back, and we're coming back, and I just see that dude on that panhead with his boy on the back with no helmet, just hammering towards Ralph, and I was like, it's on now.
Yeah.
Survivor panhead, like killer fucking bike, like rebuilt it, put it all back together the way it was, and like that shit is like the best. Like dudes that come out of like the woodwork with like just awesome shit that like nobody really has seen.
Yeah.
That's the coolest shit to me, at least. you know, and like guys that like come from afar, like they come out to fucking, like who the fuck wants to come to Worcester?
Yeah.
You know, nobody wants to come to Worcester.
It's like sucks when the band you want to see, you're like, oh, they're doing Worcester.
Oh, dude, we used to do that shit. We used to do that shit all the time.
We used to call Worcester Western Mass.
Yeah,
It
straight
kinda,
up.
Make them mad.
It's the frontier of Western Mass.
Yeah, it's the line. It is the line. But we like, I mean, dude, we never even thought we'd ever open anything in Worcester at all.
Yeah, man.
And now we're there, and like the fact that anybody comes out is sick.
Like you guys, like Jay, like you guys have that whole thing going on there. Where it's building it up, man. And building a cool like thing around it.
Yeah.
And then it brings people in that might not be super into it, but then they piques their interest. You know, someone going in for a coffee,
Right, of course.
and then or like the kid going up to the skateboard shop.
Yeah.
And then they see, you know, oh, what's this? You know, your bike in the parking lot or something.
Right.
You know what I mean? You guys fucking around or something, and then it, you know, it builds something up.
Yeah, it's weird to think about it like that because like I feel like it was yesterday that we saw that. Like I remember working at House of Blues and seeing like the dice party was on the other side of like Lansdowne. I was working at it and like dudes rolling by on choppers, and I was like, "What the?" I was like working the front door. I was like, "What the fuck is going on with this?"
Yeah, man. That was a good time. I forgot about that show. I'll tell you, I got a funny story for that, like off.
Okay. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I love that. But no, man, I think that's the best part is like getting those dudes that are like they're just doing it in their garage and they're coming out to like party and hang out for the weekend. You know, that's the best fucking part, man.
Yeah. See, that's my favorite thing about shit too. And, but it's also why it's dumb to be in this business is because the coolest thing about this is that most of it is people doing that shit by themselves in their fucking garage. You're like, yeah, maybe you help them out with a part or some shit they can't like, you know, they can't make something and you help them out with that. But like, you know, gone are the 2005 days where people were just like buying like, oh, we'd have 15 fucking deposits on bikes, dude. Fucking like literally, like how the fuck are we going to build all these fucking bikes?
Yeah.
It ain't like, you know what I mean? Now it's like most people do it themselves, which is fucking rad. You know what I mean? And then because shit comes out of nowhere, like especially when people keep this shit like they're not posting every fucking day about it. Like and it just comes out and it's like, oh shit, fucking. You know, like in spring, you know, all winter, someone's like hiding away, fucking chipping away at something, you know, and it's a big surprise. It's fucking rad.
We always talk about doing that, and it never fucking happens.
It's hard. Yeah.
Like, let's not.
Because you got a business now. You need to fucking. You need to post content.
Yeah.
You got to produce, buddy. You got to produce content.
We do. We talk about. We're like, oh, we'll keep this under wraps. It's like 3 days later. It's like, let's post this fucking.
Yeah, you're a content producer now. You know, you guys.
What's that thing in the background?
Yeah. Seriously.
Well, that's the thing too. Is like we've done a couple of like for friends that were like waiting for a surprise. So we couldn't really post it, and then it's time, and then it's like I haven't even really posted one really good picture of like Lenny's bike yet.
Right.
And I got so many pictures of like every build phase, and I'm like, I don't even know where they are. They're like way deep. They're like 2,000 photos back in my phone now. Like I'm like, where are they? You know what I mean? Like I can find that shit. Like,
We didn't realize that like the YouTube channel like. We didn't fucking think anyone was going to watch, period. But we start getting people that like we're working on their bikes, but like we're not like there yet on it. Like we're waiting on stuff and they'll see a video and like see their bike in the background and start asking questions. And we'll be like, yes, it is sitting there, but we are waiting for this. They're like keeping tabs. Like the videos are coming out every fucking week.
I don't see any difference.
Yeah. It's like.
That was filmed weeks ago.
Yeah. Right.
Winks.
Yeah. Winks
like,
ago.
Yeah.
Winks ago, yeah.
Yeah, it's a whole. We never thought any of that would ever be a problem. Like,
yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, people got time to dissect shit.
They sure fucking do. Especially when their bike's sitting at our shop. They'll dissect it all.
You know what I tell everyone? Like, because, you know, we do, you know, a lot of the service and repair shit. People are like, oh, just checking in on the progress of my bike. I'm like, believe me, motherfucker. You will be the first person to know when your bike is done because nobody wants it out more than I do.
Right.
Like you, as much as you want your bike back with you, I want it out of here 10 times more.
So bad.
Because it's not doing anyone any favors in here other than the fucking thing we got to roll out while we're waiting for this part or like fucking, you know, for your voltage regulator, some shit I can't make. You know what I mean? Like,
right. Something that's back ordered. And I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? It's back ordered.
Yeah. I don't have a voltage regulator. I can't make a voltage regulator, so you gotta wait till
I don't
there's
even
a
know what
voltage
it does.
Yeah, I've never taken one completely apart
Yeah.
to see what the circuitry's doing in there. I know there's fucking 3 wires that come out of it that plugs in. You know what I mean?
That's it. It's fucking magic.
Yeah, we can make something else maybe work, but fuck it. Yeah, whatever. You know, it is what it is. You know, but it's fun shit, man. So what's going on? What you guys got any plans for next year's show? Like anything you guys gonna do different, or just gonna kind of keep it rolling? I'm not saying that with the intent that it needs anything different. Like, but I know you guys are always like kind of thinking ahead and doing some dumb shit. Like
we do want to. I mean, we are calling it Worcester Bike Week. Like we'd love to add stuff to it. Like
it's
don't know.
It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
It is.
Now
like,
you gotta make
I know.
it. Now you gotta make it. You need like a hill climb.
Yeah, right. We need a center of town where everybody parks their baggers. We need like 25 bars and S&S to set up.
Yeah,
but
you need a broken spoke saloon to open up, like to host it all.
Well, now that Laconia is done, we should be all right.
Rest in peace.
Is that really done? Like, what the fuck is the story with that? That's you guys, right?
Yeah.
I figured that. Because I saw all kinds of shit like, oh, this was the last Laconia. I was like, these dudes got to be fucking doing something stupid. I forgot to ask you about that. Yeah. But I saw multiple people post
I know.
That. That's why.
Okay, so. This one of our we were shipping a bike, and the dude that was shipping the bike is from New Hampshire, like the guy that was picking it up to bring it to wherever the fuck it was going, and the dude was like, "Hey, this is the last Laconia." It was September. It was September or something like that, and he's like, "This is the last Laconia," and I was like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "I'm from New Hampshire. They sold the wares. They're developing it. This is it. Laconia's done." And I was like, okay, cool, man. Whatever. Take my bike, load it up, get it gone. And I walked in the shop and I told him. And
there has been efforts to try and
I believe
shut
it.
it down.
Yeah, I believe it. Daytona doesn't want Daytona Bike Week anymore. Like, I mean, they love money.
The people that live in Laconia don't want it. The businesses want it. You know what I mean? And the Chamber of Commerce will want it.
Right.
That's about it.
So I was like, when we fired up the camera, it was just something I said. And I was like, and we both laughed about it. And I was like, let's just run with it. Fuck it. And like, I would post it on stuff, like kind of just be a troll about it.
Yeah.
And like, just say it. And then I knew we had something when like a buddy of ours, like that doesn't watch the YouTube channel, doesn't, just like a random buddy of ours was like, I heard it was like the last Laconia. And I was like, sure,
it's got around.
It is. It's got around. I was like, hell yeah. Hell yeah. And we just ran with it, and like it became its own thing, I guess. Like, I don't know, like and we ran with that narrative and then rolled it into like it being Worcester Bike Week. We're like, oh, out of the ashes of Laconia, Worcester Bike Week. So don't go to Laconia anymore. Come to Worcester Bike Week. Straight.
Ralph Steiner, baby.
Ralph Steiner. It's where it starts. It's where it all starts. Every bike week was one day at some point.
It was.
And now?
Small. It was all
right.
100, 200 bikes. That was it.
That's it.
That was big. That was like the 4th year.
Yeah, of course.
First year was always like 20 bikes.
Right. And then eventually it's a whole fucking week of debauchery.
Idiocy.
Yeah. Idiocy.
You'll know you made it when you have the Pakistani leather dealers.
Oh, dude, I can't wait. The guys showing up in the vans and they're opening the sliding door. That's all I want. That's all I want.
Yep. Do rags and vests.
That's it.
$80 vests.
Yeah, when Hot Leathers sends us an email.
Nope, can't even be Hot Leathers. It's gonna be Pakistani.
Hell yeah, I'm in. We're in.
Not a Pakistani person, but the person who sources it from the Pakistani leather dealers. And anyone in the motorcycle industry knows that's the bane of your existence. Do you get those emails?
Oh yeah,
I get them every day. Like the Pakistani, like, oh, do you want to sell our? I'm like, no.
Oh yeah, we get those guys. The like. The weird,
headlight companies,
the gloves,
yep.
The flannels.
Yep.
Oh yeah, they hit us all up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's hilarious. They'll send a lot of emails too. Like they're like relentless.
And they'll be like, "Do you want a sample?" And I'm always like, "Yeah." And they never send a sample. I just want to see. I just want to see if someone will actually send something.
We did one time. Some random company sent us. It was like the same kind of situation. And they were like, "Hey, do you want to test out our Bluetooth headset for helmets?"
Well, that's different.
These were like the same people.
Yeah.
And we were like, what do you mean? They're like, we just want like a YouTube video of you guys reviewing it. And we were like, well, send us one. And they sent us the shit. And
well, that's different though. That's different than the people trying to get you to like sell their manufactured gloves. That's like true, over in like from them.
We ended up not doing a review though.
Wasn't just no bueno.
They sent it to us. It was cool. We didn't ever hook it up or do anything. And they sent us a few emails and then just stopped.
Yeah.
So we're like, whatever. We have it in a box somewhere at the shop.
You should definitely do a review from the bike show.
Oh yeah.
You guys talking to each other from the bike show.
Well, we were at one point we were wearing helmets around the shop and like walking out into the coffee shop and like talking to each other.
That was pretty fun.
It was fun. We should do that. Like full face.
I've been riding motorcycles a long time now. I've never used a Bluetooth headset or talked to anybody while I've been on a bike.
It's not easy to use.
I don't know if we're bad at it. You can't hear fucking shit.
Yeah, you got to have you have to have one of like the really
like good, a real full face.
Like a real full
Not
face.
Even, like the one with like the neck thing.
Yeah, you can't get like.
Beards won't work with anyway.
Probably not, yeah.
You can't get like the Bitwell Gringo and put a fucking shield on it. Like that ain't going to work. Like you got to get like the real full face that like unclips almost and like
seal up.
Like a snowmobile fucking thing. And like you cannot hear shit. We tried it once and I couldn't. There's no chance. There's not a chance. The bikes are too loud.
You'd think being a guitar tech, we could figure it out, but we fucking could not.
So you weren't setting up wirelesses for the band?
Oh, yeah, we were.
We were, yeah.
You should be able to do the fucking thing.
I don't know.
It's been a while.
Hey,
you're a little rusty.
You know?
Yeah.
There's a lot of things we should be able to do.
Fake it till you make it.
Fake it till you make it. Should be able to spell a lot of words, truth.
Don't be jealous.
Can I take a piss?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hell yeah.
All right, hold on. All right, we're back. We had urine breaks and heart-to-hearts.
Hell yeah.
About dogs and children. Everyone missed out on the real shit. They just hear us trying to spell jealous. Fucking easy.
They always do.
All the real shit's off the mic. But yeah, man, so what the fuck else is up, man? Now it's been like 5 hours, even though it's 2 hours. I think we hit a lot of shit.
I think we did it.
What's a bike that you guys have wanted to do, whether platform or motor, drivetrain or whatever? Is there anything you guys have kind of touched everything at this point? Is there what's the conquest like? What do you guys?
The knucklehead for sure. I think
we already did it.
No. Yeah. Oh, you mean like what's next?
Yeah. Well, what haven't you done that you want to work on, or like, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean.
We haven't done any flathead.
No flathead yet. Flathead would be cool.
Could take this one from.
Okay, we'll think about it. A flathead would be cool. I mean, dude, it's weird to like think about having like bikes that we've talked about forever. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like the fact that we have panheads that we both ride.
How did you get to the point of getting a knucklehead?
So.
Like, what was that dickering chain of events?
Oh, there was some dickering, for sure.
Sure, yeah. I get it.
It's
literally.
It was crazy. Yeah. So, like...
Because it's probably an interesting story for people because it's unobtainable.
It is
for a lot of people.
I still can't believe that we have one. Like, that whole bike was built for a panhead. Like, we had a panhead motor for it. Like, built... It's a wishbone frame. Sure. It's set up for that motor. So
luckily they're pretty interchangeable.
Yeah, luckily. And it was just like you go from like I think about it as like progression in skateboarding. Like you go from like owning something that's worth almost nothing to like just flipping and grinding.
Yeah,
and
you go
working.
from like a Nash executioner to a fucking
exactly. To a knucklehead.
Yeah, to a knucklehead.
To a knucklehead. But like, going from an iron to knucklehead is like pretty fucking wild, and like we flipped a lot of bikes in between, and it was. I ended up finding this panhead motor that was it was like a rebuilt 49 EL pan motor and tranny, on Route 44. It was a tire shop on Route 44. It was on Craigslist, and I was like, "What's up with this thing?" Sold that pan shovel, got the 49 EL motor and tranny. And it sat, and I was like, I don't know. It's like it was like all rebuilt, like resto quality, like
ready to roll,
like good.
Now you need to build the chassis.
Exactly. So that's what, and that's
worthy
why,
of that motor. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what came of so basically the Knucklehead now was all the parts that we'd always talked about using. Like when we first started getting into bikes was a VL front end, a banana wassail, bird shooter pipes, fucking a wishbone frame, a Knucklehead motor. Like the Knucklehead wasn't actually a thing yet, but that was like always something that we'd always talked about doing.
Yeah. And
then as it progressed, that bike turned into what that Knucklehead is now. And so when we got the Panhead, I was like, okay, let's grab one of those W&W VL front ends and I'll narrow it. You know, like we were like talking about it, and we weren't going to narrow it at first. We were just that was just the front end that we were going to use. And then Jay Roach was like, you can do it. Like I wasn't going to fuck with it. We weren't going to fuck with it. We were going to cut it apart. And Jay Roach was like, nah, man, you can do it. Narrow it. So I did. We narrowed it, like the whole front end, like.
So you guys are that suggestible. Just say something to
Just say something. Yeah, pretty much. Cool. Yeah.
Right. So duly noted. Yeah. I'm going to keep this in mind.
Yeah. It was multiple weeks. It was multiple weeks of that. And then I wanted to do a full stainless chassis, like a full frame and all, like a full frame, but you can't ride that. Granted, I don't fucking ride the Knucklehead that much. You know, I'm terrified to ride it. I don't want to fucking ruin it.
That's the worst part, right?
I know.
It's like you build these bikes and then you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
I don't want to rebuild it if something fucking happens.
Yeah, I don't want to fucking crash it and destroy it.
Or you fucking crash it and then, like you said, and then it's like, now I got to buy Knucklehead parts?
Right.
Oh, that's fun. Cool.
So we do the front end. It's just on the shelf. And then the wishbone frame came up, and I was like, I want to do a stainless wishbone frame. We're talking about it, and I'm like, it's going to crack if we end up building that and riding it. It's going to fucking, stainless will crack no matter what. So a bike that has always been burned in my brain is what's his face's dragon bike.
I know his Instagram.
I know. Fuck. Not Avery. It's Allentown Chop. Allentown?
Yeah.
Yeah. His dragon Knucklehead. That thing's got like these swirly molded like down tubes and frame. And I was like, dude, that fucking bike rules. Like I remember seeing it at Prism's show. And then a few other times I saw it in person and I was like, that bike is unreal. Like this Survivor chopper with this crazy molded dragon and a Knucklehead. And I was like, Ramsey. That's his name, Ramsey. And sorry, Ramsey, if you're listening. And I was like, dude, it'd be sick. Fuck the stainless whole frame. I was like, I'll do the neck and the axle plates and the sidecar loops and then wrap it around and like mold it, but with stainless. And I didn't know how the fuck to do that at the time. So built the frame from scratch, did that whole thing, and then was like, well, if the front end's narrowed, I guess I got to narrow the frame. And it just progresses from that. So like that whole time it was a Panhead. And then I'm sitting at the shop and this is finding cool shit is like determination and luck together. Like finding a fucking awesome Survivor Panhead or like a chassis or like even a cool tank or a sissy bar is all grinding your ass, trying to talk to people and find stuff, and then luck.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I fucking come across a 37 knuckle frame for very cheap in like Montana on Facebook. Talked to the guy. I didn't know it was a 37 knuckle frame at the time, but he had a wishbone frame and a knuckle frame. Our buddy Charlie needed a wishbone frame. And I was like, well, I know that's a knuckle frame. I don't care what year it is. I'll buy it. And it was, both frames were like dirt cheap. So I was like, stick them on a pallet, send them Fastenal, send them to us. I pull it out. I still at that point didn't even know what I had. And Lingley hits me up and he's like, what's up with that frame? You want to sell it? And I was like, no, I'm going to hang on to it.
If you're asking, then I know I don't want to sell
it. Exactly. I had a few people asking me. So I was like, all right, do some research. Found out it was a 37 frame. So I had that frame sitting there. And then I had that pan motor. So, you know, we had all that stuff. And I was like at the shop and I'm sitting there and Craig's working on something. And I was like, Craig, we might have enough stuff to trade for a Knucklehead. And he's like, you think? And I was like, yeah. So I hit a couple people up that I thought might have something, and then somebody suggested Joe, and I was like, Lingley, and I was like, let me hit him up. And he luckily was putting an addition on his shop. And I was like, Joe, what do you got? And he's like, I got this bike. It's going to be, he's got this motor. It's going to be fucking sick. I'm going to polish the cases. And he's like, I have these large port heads that are all drilled out like race style. He's like, that fucking everybody has wanted for years. And luckily we're good friends with Joe, you know what I mean? And he knew that it was going to go to something that was going to be cool. And we fucking horse traded, gave him the motor and the frame for the straight up for the motor, which was fucking unreal. Like I didn't believe it.
Yeah.
And then the thing shows up and I'm like, holy fuck. You know, so then that whole thing happened, built the bike. And it is what it is now. But that was the whole that was probably what, 2 years of grinding?
Yeah.
Grinding it out. Bought the motor and tranny first, spent all of our money. All of our money. Like we had nothing left and had to figure it out to keep that motor and tranny.
Like how are we going to pay rent?
Straight up.
Yeah.
I've done that a few times.
Yeah, there's been a few times with that. Stuck it on the bench, and it's like, well, this is just it sat in our buddy Josh's barbershop in the building for a full year. Like he was like, oh, it'd be cool if it sat in the barbershop. And we're like, yeah, it's heated 24 hours. Our shop is not heated at all. Yeah. Here you go. You know? And when we traded it, we got the tranny. We kept the tranny. So the tranny's a 48 tranny. And then all rebuilt, ready to go. It was actually built by Rat Racing's dad, Henry.
Yeah,
the whole thing, which it was fucking perfect. Like it was
dude's the man.
That dude's the man. Like there's no, you're not questioning that thing. You know what I mean? When I got the worksheet and saw that it was built by him, I was like, oh, we're good. You
kicked it? Did you kick it?
No. Like we got the frame and motor. I mean, we got the motor and
kicked it through, right?
No, not the knucklehead, the panhead.
Yeah, but you've kicked that transmission through.
Oh, yeah.
You kicked the tranny. That's a hate crime.
Yeah. I actually, luckily, shifted it, rode it, did the whole thing, and it's
you rode a tranny.
Rode a tranny. Right, cool. Rode a tranny, shifted a tranny, the whole nine. Yeah. It was good. It was an unbelievable tranny.
Yeah.
Never forget.
Beautiful 48 tranny.
Yeah, beautiful, gorgeous, and ended up with that, and then. I don't know if you feel like this, but when you start, as not to get weird,
no, get weird. It's cool.
Not to get okay, cool. So
it's Big Truth Podcast, motorcycles, music, and high weirdness.
Okay, thank God. Yeah, what time is it? What time is it? 10:30 at night.
It's time to get weird.
I can get a little weird. Right. So we both feel like this. Don't hang me out to dry on this one. Sure. You start bringing that shit in, you get a knucklehead, you bring a couple of those parts in, you know what I mean? You start bringing them into your fucking zone, and it opens up some more doors to maybe find some more stuff. It's just that vibe of you put the shit on the shelf, and it brings in more fucking
manifesting.
Juju. Yeah, it's manifesting
growing.
more. You know what I mean?
You put it out in the universe.
Put it out.
Yeah. An unfinished knucklehead. And you need more shit for
exactly. it. Exactly. Or just having a knucklehead in general, or a panhead or a shovelhead. You have these things in your possession and you're taking care of them the way that they need to be taken care of, and you're doing what needs to happen with them. And then all of a sudden, some more stuff starts coming your way. So
breaking down a wall.
Yeah, it's in it. And
the knucklehead wall has been
broken. The knucklehead wall has been broken. And in my head, that's another level of progression in this whole thing. Is I looked at it progression in skateboarding. It was you got the iron head, you got the shovel head, you got, you know what I mean? You worked your way up and progressed. And it never really ends, but we finally got the knuckle motor and built the bike and did the whole thing. And then now it's all right, now we're open to finding some more shit, out there digging, so now we have a couple of pieces here and there to maybe put another one together, you know what I mean? Maybe fucking working some other shit out. So it's once you start bringing that stuff in, it's you gotta just run with it and just figure it the fuck out.
Yeah.
So now, and it's a lot to undertake. It sucks. It does. I wish none of that. It was getting it and having it, and it shouldn't even be in the shop. It shouldn't. It's It's too much money. No one should have that in their shop. You know, like a good friend of ours like had a really fucking expensive bike in his shop, and he was like, dude, anything could happen to it. You know, and it's like, I don't think our shit's crazy expensive, but like, dude, the fucking motor alone is worth a ton of money.
Yeah.
It's like, and it's like the holy grail. It's like, doesn't make sense to like have it.
Yeah.
You know, like it's like, oh fuck, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe you can trade it for a Street Glide. You might get
M8. If anybody out there has got an M8, Daddy's looking.
An M8.
You might get there. You might get there.
I might get there to the M8.
Break that wall down.
There it
Break
is.
that
There
wall.
it is.
Yeah.
Looking for the M8. If anybody's got like 20 acres,
That's pretty good.
that's pretty good,
All
right?
right.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like a knucklehead, you could get 20 acres, but with some kind of structure on it.
yeah, for sure.
You should be able to.
100%.
Yeah. Just kidding.
Yeah, I think so.
Absolutely.
I think so. And it sucks because like
They're not making any more land.
Fuck no. And they're not making any more knuckleheads.
Well, S&S is.
Well, that's true. Yeah, that is true. You are right. They aren't making any more land. But like, dude, you get one, and then it's like, we don't like. It's the worst business model ever. And the second you get one, you don't want to sell it.
And the problem is if you do sell it, then you're like, shit, I'll never have another one.
Right. It sucks.
But you will if you want.
Yeah, if you go for it. But like,
And then
it's the same thing with like our fucking panheads or whatever. Like, I don't ever want those bikes to go because it's like, it's such a fucking rooted history of like us working our fucking asses off for like that's all we really have to show for it is like all the money went back into the shop and we have these bikes now. It's like,
but that's the only way you can do that.
right.
You can't have that shit unless you keep the money in the shop.
100%.
It's all about, and it's like funny. It was like the whole time listening to you talk about building it was like exact mirror of like what me and Jay went through.
Right.
And you know, and it's like, it was like working the day job, then working until midnight at the shop, working the weekends at the shop, and then taking every penny and putting it back in and flipping it and getting more equipment, getting more parts, getting more shit, you know, tools, fucking whatever. And then it just goes.
And that's the kind of shit that like we saw the second we got into this was like we saw the guys that were doing, you know, we saw you guys that were doing a business and how they were like progressing and doing their thing. And then like, you know, then there were guys that just had the bikes that they were riding around and that was cool for them. But it was like that was cool. Like, dude, I love going on trips and riding like this. That's awesome. But like for a long time, like we were having like way more fun building bikes.
Yeah.
You know, now it's like I have fun building bikes, but at the same time, it's like there's a lot of cool rides happening. You know, maybe
I ride that thing.
maybe hit the fucking road for a little while. You know, if we
And
can
that's
eke
why I
out-
said keep what you guys doing where it is because you can shut the door and do it.
No, 100%.
Can't do that here. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
what sucks. You know, well, you can, but you'd have piss off a lot of people, and
Of course,
it'd fuck everything up because people are like, oh, they're never open or blah blah blah. You
right?
know?
Yeah, it's a wild fucking world.
It is.
It's a wild world to fucking own a business in.
You know what the scariest thing is, and I'm not trying to be doom and gloom here, that I think about is like, what if the fucking idiots that are just 100 proposing electric win,
That's my thought.
and then the
all
rug
time.
comes under, and then knuckleheads are worthless. You know, or panheads or any of the shit we all have is now. But it's like, will it be worthless or will it be worth more?
It might be worth quadruple.
Yeah,
It's
crazy to think of.
that reality could happen.
And I'm not saying electric isn't good,
Fuck electric.
but people don't think about all the shit that goes into it. Like electric, how is electricity made? Mostly by burning fucking coal. It's
such a
and then you get these
bullshit.
batteries and fucking this and that. And everyone knows. Anyone that probably listening to this knows
it's
everything
garbage.
that goes into. It's all knee jerk, and it's all because it's funny how electric gets pushed 2 days after the Pelosi's buy a ton of stock in Tesla,
of course,
or whatever. It's like so whatever.
It's that will happen. That push 100%. We will see that in our lifetime. We will see that crazy push for electric. Nobody, it's already happening all over the place. It's happening in California. It's happening in Europe. But I will say, there is the AMCA is making a push to to fight back against it. It's almost like the NRA for guns.
But here's the thing: the game plan isn't like they're not trying to do it for us.
No,
it's going to be like your kids or your grandkids.
Right.
They're playing long games. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Like, they're introducing it now so that it becomes the thing. Like years ago. So your knucklehead before you.
We'll try.
You know, that's all.
We'll try.
Yeah. Before it's worth nothing. And then when it's worth nothing, give me a call. I'll buy it. I'll take it on me.
You're the first call.
Yeah.
You're the first call. You're the first call. Yeah. I don't know, man. It's crazy. Like they at Terryville last year, or no, sorry, the last Terryville. So 2 years ago in Connecticut, they had the big AMCA like meeting, brunch bullshit. And they were talking about it. They were like, listen, like in Europe, they're doing like these roads that you can only ride your vintage bike on. You can't ride your vintage bike on these roads because it's, it leaks oil and it's bad for the environment and blah, blah, blah. They're like, we don't want that to happen here. So we want to make sure that everybody's aware of what's going on. And like, that was the first time that anybody I ever heard talk about it, is the AMCA. And I was like, well, I guess that's pretty cool that we have at least somebody that's like an organization out there.
Yeah, but the problem is not a lot of chopper dudes are involved.
No, not at all. Not at all. And I think now...
And that's why you guys are smart, because you get in there and you're getting friends with all the old dudes, and you're like, you don't got kids? What's going on with that?
Yankee chapter members, baby. Come on.
What's going on with that Indian chief?
Well, the thing is that is like...
I'll edit this out so that no one knows the secret.
Thank you. Thanks. Appreciate it. I feel like that is like our last, like not a line of defense, but like they got like they're kind of got their finger on the pulse with all that stuff, because those old motherfuckers don't want anybody taking away their shit.
No.
They are miserable, and they went through a lot of years of riding those fucking bikes, and nobody's taking away that shit.
Yeah, but those guys also paid like $200 for those fucking bikes.
100%.
And they just had them.
Not
forever.
even that. Some of them paid fucking $200,000 for those. Like those motherfuckers are rich as hell.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, right? There's the guys, and I'm just. There's the guys that paid $200, and then there's the guys that paid $200.
Yeah, and it's funny to being a chopper guy in that whole zone, because all those motherfuckers nowadays, like they're like, I remember choppers, I remember this, I remember that, but we'll party at the swaps and the AMCA stuff like hard, and they're like, I don't know. I mean, what's up with the party? It's like, this is what you get, dude. Like, do you want? We're riding vintage bikes, like we're here, we know the whole back story of like you guys not liking choppers, but now they're coming around a bit.
Yeah,
they're starting to fucking join the party.
Well, because there's not a lot of young people getting into just straight vintage motorcycles.
Right.
Like, so choppers at least is like, it's still a vintage bike.
Right.
Like, so at least they're settling a little bit.
Yeah. You ever hang out with fucking straight up Indian guys? They're weird. Okay. They're fucking weird. Okay. Yeah. You want to have a good time? Come to the AMCA party and hang out with the chopper guys.
Yeah. All four of you that are there.
Yeah, there's probably at least two of us.
Yeah,
there's at least two.
Oh fuck yeah, man! So what else? What else you guys got going on, or anything that we haven't talked about?
I think that's it, man. Just subscribe to the YouTube channel.
But that shit was important. Like it's fun because we all know what the hunt is like.
Of course.
And what the sickness and the madness is like. But it's fun to talk about it and hear the whole story, because not everyone understands everything that goes into it. Like, and there's a lot of words. I hear a lot of people saying, those Eazy Co, they're just rich kids and they just bought a knucklehead.
I fucking wish. God, I
from
wish.
their trust funds.
I wish my dad.
I was just trying to dispel the rumors.
I wish my dad gave me. Is that real? I hope somebody said that.
I'm just kidding.
I hope somebody said that about us.
Just kidding.
I don't think anybody thinks.
Dude, I'm so far removed from the fray. I don't know it anyway.
I was just fucking wish, dude.
I just like.
I wish somebody called us rich kids. That would be the best.
I just love
my father gave me every bike I ever fucking had.
Yeah. I just like hearing the stories of how people find shit.
No, it's cool, man. It's fucking cool.
Because
I'm glad somebody's doing this shit.
We're nerds about this.
Oh, yeah.
We love it. You know what I mean? It's fucking cool.
I'm glad somebody's at least documenting all this shit, because fucking who knows? It could all just go by the wayside and no one give a flying fuck.
Yeah.
Until like fucking Tom Fugel. That guy, no one gave a fuck about that guy for how many years? And then all of a sudden everybody unearths all the shit and he's still alive doing his thing. It
was cool that we got years with him.
Right.
Where people
that was unreal.
It was fucking great.
It was like going to Invitational and going to Born Free and seeing that guy and being able to like talk to him. Like, dude, we talked to him at Mama Tried.
Yeah.
And like, unreal. Unfucking real. That's the guy in the Dave Mann paintings. Like, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
You know, like he's out here and he loved all the shit. Like you got to see him like fucking really love all that shit.
Yeah.
And it was very, very cool.
And he was so weird, man. Like,
So weird.
he would just chug gallons of milk, like fucking weird shit.
Oh,
Like,
dude, you could barely understand what he was saying.
it was the best.
It
dude.
was the best. He talked to us at Mama Tried, and I was like, Craig, what'd he say? And he was like,
I don't know.
I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
And he was still making his leather shit and,
Yeah.
you know, like his wallets and fucking weird
So
shit.
cool.
And fucking, yeah. But that's the thing, man. Like, when you think about it, you look back the 60s and 70s and, like, just the fucking characters. And there's not a lot of them left. You know what I
way.
mean? And
I'm obviously not comparing us to that whole thing, but like,
no, but it would be cool, like, because maybe one day that's the fucking thing. Like, we're that weird old dude. Like, we just show up out of nowhere and people, like, remember. Who knows?
or even just like anybody being like, well, if these fucking idiots can do it, they can't even spell a goddamn word.
We
They
get
can
that a
maybe
lot.
make a fuck. Yeah. Oh, we do get that a lot. Yeah.
What's that?
If you guys can do it,
Yeah.
I can do it.
Oh,
Sure,
yeah,
try.
We get that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then fucking do it. That's
Right.
it. That's all you got to say.
That's
All right,
100% what we say.
It's
like,
true, but
Yeah.
do it. Anyone can do it. Obviously, there's some people that are just virtuosos and born like really weird and talented
Yeah.
that can do anything, like weird fucking mechanical engineering minds.
Of course.
And shit. But whatever. But by and large, yeah, anyone can do it if you put the time, effort, and fucking work into it.
Yeah.
But are you willing to do that? Not everyone's willing to do that.
If you sacrifice most of your time, you can fucking do it.
Yeah.
You know, that's really it. And it's the coolest industry to be in, but also it's like you're gonna really fucking.
You gotta love it.
Gotta love it.
Otherwise, because it's a brutal fucking thing. To do.
Crazy.
It's a time and money suck.
Sure is.
You know what I mean?
Sure
It's
is.
time and money suck. Like, you know, but it's fun as fuck, and it's like you said, man. Like you meet people everywhere. You can roll places like. Roll all across the country, and you got people with like interests and parties all the way across the country. Like now, like there's motorcycle shows anywhere. Every region has a cool show now.
Oh, yeah.
I can't think of anywhere that doesn't have a cool show.
Right.
I haven't gone to them all, and I wish I could. Like, you could make a career out of just going to fucking shows if you
Yeah.
find
Yeah.
the right fucking thing to sell at shows that you could sustain yourself for
Right.
like a year. You know what I mean? Like,
Weed.
yeah. Well, yeah. Amongst other things.
Amongst other things.
Weed being the shell.
Yeah, yeah. Weed being the front.
The front. Yeah.
Weed being the front.
Weed and weapons and fucking,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You could make a-
nefarious wares.
Yeah. It's still, it gets dark if you want to, but it's the best.
Yeah. Dark is fun.
It's the best.
Yeah, it's the best. Well, fuck yeah, man. So give places where, and I'll put it in the show notes as well, but give out the YouTube channel, the social media things, you know.
I think now you can do youtube.com/the Eazy Co.
Okay.
That'll work.
It's the Eazy Co for everything.
Yeah.
Instagram, YouTube, the easyco.com.
TikTok.
TikTok. We aren't on there. We got rid of that spyware. And yeah, go to all of it.
I signed up just so no one would take the name.
That's smart.
And I don't do anything with it. Like, what the fuck am I going to do on a fucking TikTok?
That's weird, man. Don't worry about it.
Stupid.
There's a whole subculture on there.
I know. But you know
It's
what's
strange.
Weird? It's weird is like, I feel like if we had all gotten on TikTok like at day one, we'd probably be making money on it.
Of course.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because like there's dudes that have like millions of followers that are like contemporaries. You know what I mean? That didn't do anything except they got on it. They were early adopters. How do we do this? Where are you guys? All right, there we go.
Can you zoom it out?
I don't know how to do that shit. Oh wait, no, here we go, like that.
Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, put the headphones on.
Yeah. All right, cool.
Hell yeah.
We're taking a selfie, everybody.
Yeah.
We can post it.
You'll be all right.
TikTok, you guys get it.
TikTok, yeah. Find Eazy Co on TikTok is their primary source of
Yeah.
social media.
Give all information.
The
there.
Eazy Co is everywhere. Get after
They do
it.
a little dance, yeah. Now, I'll put it on the show notes, but fuck yeah, man. Thank you, fellas, for coming on. We had a good talk. We'll we'll hang up here and then
We're gonna hang for a bit.
we'll hang out.
We're gonna hang for a bit.
We'll talk a little bit more. We'll do the spelling bee and then we'll. We should do it. We should do a contest. We should really figure out.
Let me know. I'll brush up on some stuff. I gotta get some research.
Get to work. All right, we need to get to work.
Thank you for fucking having us, man.
Yeah,
this is the fucking best, dude. This rules.
It's fun. This is all right. So the podcast obviously started during when everything was shut down.
Right.
So it was something to do. But it's one of my favorite things because even people I know, or like you guys, or like people that even I've known for like ever.
Right.
I put them on, we do this shit, and then I learn shit that I didn't know.
Dude, it's
like,
the best,
man. It's fun as fuck. And fuck yeah, man. So check them out. Check them out on YouTube. Fucking blow them up. Give them some ratings and subscriptions and fucking help them monetize their YouTube channels. So
Please, for the love of God.
Buy another knucklehead.
Please.
And fuck yeah, man.
Thank you, bud.
All right.